All right. All right.
Mark
Well,
got his new safety today.
exactly.
Oh, you talking about the dude that we tried to get last year and then finally now got?
Aloka. Yeah.
Yeah, him. Yeah, because we tried to get him last year and then he didn't much like Minnesota, so he says, "I'll come play for Dallas." I mean, I guess I don't know.
Right. Well, let me just say to these people that joined us, thank you for joining us, guys. This is the In the Paint live stream on YouTube. I'm your host, Roddy Jones. I also serve as a moderator. And joining me, we have our brother Chandler and also brother Marshall. From where are you from, Marshall?
Well, I'm living in Owensboro, Kentucky, so I
Okay.
think Chandler had it. Had it right.
Nah, no doubt, no doubt. And also joining us is the man that created the show. That'd be Mr. Max 611, also known as Mark A. Cunningham. What's going on, bro?
Yo, can you hear me?
No, we can't
We
hear
can
you.
you just fine.
And also is my dude Dominic. He's live. But you hear me, Dom?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here he is. So we got all of us online here on YouTube. Welcome. Let's get into some discussion about Triple B. Okay, that being Big Brother brand.
How did I know this was going to happen?
Yeah, how'd you know that was gonna happen, brother? We're gonna talk about the Big Baller brand, the Lonzo taking control.
Good grief! What a shit show.
You know who I'm gonna go to for this opening salvo on this right now? It's Mr. Mark A. Cunningham, brother. Listen, you have some definite feelings about this, and I want you to just fire him off right now on this particular topic.
All right. I've been called a hater of Triple B by people in our group, certain people on Twitter. I wasn't hating on them. I told y'all what would happen. I told you cannot start a company in the penthouse when you haven't been in the penthouse. You got to start at the ground level. You first wanted to you wanted a sneaker deal for your three sons, and you said you starting at $1 billion. I'm like, yeah, you're crazy. So you didn't work out any deals with any sneaker companies, so you started your own company. You start out with a price of $500 for sneakers. I'm not buying them. And many people said I was hating on another black man. No, every black man ain't. We all not family. So you starting out at $500 tells me you're bugging, one, because you don't have a name in the marketplace. So we go a little forward. They start the sneaker brand. Your second son gets kicked out of college. Well, he gets caught stealing, so he's reprimanded and suspended. You didn't like that, so you took him out of college. Your other son, your youngest son, you got coaches fired. You didn't like the present coach his senior year in high school, or junior year in high school, senior year. So you remove him from high school. You then take your two sons to Europe to play in the league. You don't like it there. So you start your own league. It is a pattern. When he doesn't get his way, he moves and makes rash, reactionary decisions. None which have been good. So you start your own league. You have your two sons are the stars of the league. And also you were supposed to be paying high school players to go pro. So they are now giving up. They've given up their college basketball. They can't go play college basketball, none of these kids now. So we fast forward to today, and it's alleged that your business partner and your son's business manager has taken $1.5 million. It's missing. Big Baller Brand has failed as a brand. Nobody is buying those sneakers that I know of. Initially, yes, you made some money because people got caught up in the smoke and the hype that you set up. My thing is, in some ways, I wanted to be wrong. I wanted them to succeed, but it seems to me like everything you tried to do was rushed, wasn't thought through, hyped, and now your son has decided to move on and distance himself from Big Baller Brand, which he is the majority owner. Lonzo owns 63%. The mother and father, LeVar and his wife, own 16.8%, and the other guy owns 16%, but less than everybody else. So he's in the minority. Big Baller Brand is failed. Everybody's gonna have to move on. Lonzo may get a sneaker deal with Nike, but initially he could have made $10 million, maybe more because of the hype he had. Nike or somebody else would have given him maybe $10 million. That's gone. So, Lonzo he's not a superstar. So why would Nike sign him to a sneaker deal? He might get a licensing deal. He might sign with a sneaker company, but it's not going to be for the money he could have made had he not followed his father and not followed in the steps they took. You can try again, but I don't think anybody is going to bank on LeVar anymore. Not at this point. It's going to be a long time before somebody tries to bank on him. And Lonzo and his brothers, well, Lonzo will be all right. LaMelo will be all right. I don't know about LiAngelo as a basketball player because he's not good. LiAngelo LaMelo has a ceiling. He might be the best out of the three. So they have to move. The brothers are moving forward, and all I can say is the people who said you bugging, no, you were bugging. But also those same people who said I was bugging, I noticed y'all didn't buy any Lonzo Ball sneakers. I noticed y'all didn't really support Triple B.
Right.
And I'm gonna let everybody else speak. And that's my take on it for now.
Right.
Real quick. You remember the story of King Midas, right? Everything he touched turned to gold.
Right.
So LeVar is the exact opposite. Everything he touched to bronze shit or whatever you want to call
it. Okay.
So I mean, and here's the thing: it's like Lonzo, like Mark said, Lonzo's going to be okay, mainly because he's got that big contract from the Lakers. He's going to be a decent player, but he's not going to be the superstar that you thought he was.
No.
And with LeVar trying to be like, really, it's all about me. Big Baller Brand is like it's a Led Zeppelin. Drop it and kill it because nobody's paying exorbitant prices for your sneakers. Once $1.5 million comes up missing, no one knows where it is. I wonder where it went.
Right.
That's my take on it.
Let me just say this real quick. Mac and I were talking offline about this, and the thing that gets me, and I know Mac's gonna agree. I was kind of rooting for this guy initially, but as I got to see his actions and his plan to get this done, and that was just wrong. He went about this totally wrong in every step of the way. You understand? How can I root for somebody that's being disrespectful to other players or former players? Also, and just being a loudmouth individual. I just couldn't respect that. You understand? He went about this totally wrong. He didn't go through the learn lessons from other sneaker companies starting out. He didn't learn at all. So, I mean, how could you root for somebody like that? How could you just say, okay, just because based on the color of his skin, you rooting for him? No, you got to go about things the right way, and he didn't do that. He failed on every aspect in that way. He did. So, could we see this probably coming? Of course we could. Because nobody has succeeded the way that he has started off this business. So, for those that don't like what I'm saying, whatever, it is what it is. If your feathers get ruffled over the truth that I'm speaking, or the truth that Max 11 is speaking, or the truth that everybody here on this call is speaking, that's too bad. That's too bad. Accept it. And you know what I'm saying? I just, Chandler, I want to go to you because we talked about this briefly before we started this live stream, and I know you have probably a somewhat similar view, but a little bit different angles as well. So I'm going to go to you right now.
Yeah, because did he really fail? I mean, he took a blueprint that's been out there for hundreds of years.
Okay.
Going all the way back to P.T. Barnum. Okay? He promised the world, gave you nothing and got your money. I mean, Donald Trump, how many decades did Donald Trump do that? Failed universities, failed this, failed that. I mean, there's a long list of people. Don King, there's on and on and on of people who were carnival barkers, which was what he was. He was a carnival barker. He was a snake oil salesman.
Right.
He followed that blueprint. Did he really fail? He made money. He got his kid to. Okay, well, we don't know how much money he made. First of all, we don't know how much.
True.
Right. So I'm not going to say he failed because I don't know what's in his pockets. Number one,
right?
But somehow he's managing to travel all over the world, do all of these things, start leagues, get money. He's managing to do all of these things, but yet somehow we keep saying he failed. He's getting money from somewhere. Okay,
well,
and
is he going to get more?
Listen, as P.T. Barnum said, there's a sucker born every minute. Okay?
You're right.
So
I agree with you on that.
Now, I'm happy for Lonzo that he's finally ready to stand on his own 2 feet. I've always supported this about LeVar. He obviously loves his kids, obviously.
Of course.
And I'm 50 years old. I have no idea what the person from my father looks like. So I'm never going to fault him for trying to do the best he could for his kids. Now, was a lot of this about him? It absolutely was. We all know that. We all know that. We can acknowledge that. And also, 2 things can be true at the same time. He loves his kid. He was trying to do right by his kids, but he was also trying to do right by himself. Okay, 2 things can be true at the same time. Right. I think for Lonzo, we don't know what Lonzo's going to be. So to say what he's not going to be, we don't know what he's going to be, because I remember when Jason Kidd was looked at as, yeah, he'll be okay, but he can't shoot. Steve Nash was a guy that was sitting at the end of the bench. The list goes on and on and on of guys that people said after their first couple of seasons would never be anything. Chauncey Billups was on how many teams before he finally blossomed? Right. So we don't know what Lonzo's going to be. But the first step to him blossoming is him separating from his father. Because until he's separated from his father, he could never blossom. And again, I'm not going to fault him for loving and respecting his father enough to follow along. I don't know what that's like. Right. You understand what I'm saying? But I wish I had one to do it with. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Even if I'm following down the wrong path. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's a lot of levels to this. Now, my problem with this entire thing is the fact that LeVar ignored his son. When his son sent him emails and said, hey, something's wrong with this dude. My money's missing. LeVar ignored the email since October. Right. And waited until last week to respond.
Right. We in March.
That's the problem. Right. That's my problem with LeVar right now, is because you put more faith in your boy than you did in your sons. I got a problem with that, because those are your sons. If they tell you something ain't right, you're supposed to damn listen. When your kid tells you something ain't right, you're supposed to listen. And he didn't. Right. So that's where I part ways with him now, because this could have been avoided had he listened to his kids. But I think the silver lining in all of this is I think LiAngelo never wanted to be a basketball player. He never looked like he liked the game. So I think he can now go do what he wants to do. LaMelo actually still has college eligibility. People forget that. He never got paid. As long as you don't get paid, whether you're playing in a league or not, you can still go to college and play ball. So LaMelo can still go to a college and play ball. All right. And Lonzo has taken the first step in becoming his own man. So this is kind of a blessing in disguise for the Suns. And maybe, hopefully, it'll get LeVar to wake the hell up and say, you know what? Okay, I've done enough. It's time for me to just go somewhere and sit the hell down. Time for me to just go sit the hell down.
Yeah.
Right, Chandler. Well said. we might differ, me and you, slightly in some aspects, but we both similar thoughts. You know, everybody said, yo, you need to chill, LeVar. For me, I think LeVar just and maybe he was doing too much. You know, that he couldn't look into whatever he needed to look into with his son. Because remember, we talked about this on the show. He started a water company, right? He got a league, right? You taking time with LaMelo to move him from Europe to a school in Ohio. You trying to deal with Leangelo, trying to do whatever he's trying to do with basketball and try to get him in a league, on a team, whatever. So you spread yourself all over the place.
That's true. That's true. Again, and like I said, man, I know had a different opinion or whatnot. I'm still gonna stand by it regardless. Right, wrong, and different. I'm gonna still stand by it. It failed, and that's all. That's all. I'm gonna stand by that. You understand? The guy, you know, I'm not gonna speculate. Just like you and Max said, I'm not gonna speculate how much money he's made, how much he has, but it fell way short of what he wanted to do. You understand? And I'm sorry, I got to consider it a failure. You understand? This thing is folding right now. You know, they might not even be a triple B, a big baller brand. You understand? I talked about this before. I said, you know, maybe you need to do a reboot. You know, call it something else and go about it the right way. How about that? You know what I'm saying?
Right. My thing, like I said, in the group, why are you gonna pull a plug? The guy stole 1.5 million. Go to court, recoup your money back from him, whatever, however much you can. Oust him. You have to fire him out of your company because he's a minority owner in the sense that you, Lonzo, and the wife, y'all have controlling interests. It doesn't have to necessarily die, and maybe you need to take a step back, like you just said, or take a step back from Triple B. Also, I said in that post, hire you some people who work in the sneaker industry who can help you. Exactly. You can always do that.
But Mac, if somebody steals 1.5 million from you, and rather than try to go the legal route, you just like you throw up your hand and say, "Okay, I'm done." That says to me that there's a whole lot of other stuff wrong that you don't want to come out.
I agree with you.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Listen, no company is going to willingly let you steal from them unless they're already doing something dirty. And they don't want that to come out, so they consider that the cost of doing business. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like charge you to the streets. You understand what I'm saying? You out there doing something you ain't got no business doing, and you get beat. You charge you to the streets, you keep it moving.
Right. Of course.
Hey, you see, Chandler went full circle. Chandler said how he was traveling the globe and doing this and doing that, and now all of a sudden $1.5 million is missing. Is this a fall guy? The problem with BBB, is they didn't have a PPP. They didn't do no prior planning with this. They just jumped into this like it was something fantastic. You look at the company Under Armour. They got their big break in a movie. Remember the movie On Any Given Sunday? Jamie Foxx wearing the Under Armour logo on his neck. Nobody heard of Under Armour before that. He got a break. He got in the door. Then, of course, his university, Maryland, helped him get his product out there. This wasn't an overnight thing. I mean, granted, Under Armour has become the second highest apparel in a 22-year span, total apparel. And that took them 22 years. This guy came out of left field with no plan. Think about this guy. His plan was his mouth. You didn't have no backing. You had verbiage. You didn't have nothing else. You was going to turn the world upside down. Like I said, 22 years for Under Armour to get to where they're at. Whether you like Under Armour or not, I'm just using a scenario here. He thought he was going to flip this in a year. But first of all, he didn't have no who was wearing his product.
Nobody.
Exactly. So he didn't have a who as part of one of the P's. But he just had no plan. You always have to have guys. We've all been to some kind of school. And no matter what you're doing, you have a plan, whether you're doing a thesis or whatever. You're lining things up as you go along. We don't just shoot from the hip. But I'm confused with that $1.5 million because Chandler brought us full circle. How is he traveling the globe? How many sneakers was he selling? Is there any stats out there? Any money of how much they grossed on these sneakers?
Only the early stats, Dom.
Right.
If you go on the internet and you check, you'll see the early stats. Now they got
1.5 million.
That I no.
I'm just saying.
They
So how
got
did this guy steal 1.5 million?
Don't know. Now check it out.
I don't want to turn this into the X-Files, but
they got an F rating from the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah.
People said when they weren't receiving their product, they were back ordered. They also when they started, you had to wait a long time before you got the stuff you ordered. Also, they what's the other thing they did that was bad? All of that. People got product and they didn't get the product they ordered. So you just messing up all over the place.
Some people got two of the same foot.
Right.
Some
you
people
couldn't
got two left shoes.
They had no refund. You can't get a refund.
Yeah,
you try to reach them, you couldn't reach them to complain and try to get your money back or try to work out a way that you could be done, right by that business. So I can't rock with you. That's real sloppy.
I'm just stuck on the money being missing, but I can't track the money being made. How do you lose something you didn't have?
I don't know.
That's Chandler made me think about it. He's traveling the globe. People ain't getting their product.
Well, you know what?
You got $1.5 million in the bank, and then somebody steals it. Come on,
right. They had an excellent.
Fellas.
They had an excellent They have an excellent relationship with Slam Magazine. Slam been bigging them up for the last 4 years. They got a lot of free publicity from Slam. I don't know if they worked out some kind of deal with Slam or they have a deal with Slam, but they're close to them. I wanted to say that let's take a look at a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie, who I'm gonna flame him just for talking about my Knicks, but I like what he's done. He's done it like you're supposed to do. He's doing it small. He invested in himself. He has a sneaker brand. It's starting to bubble a little bit. Maybe somebody comes to Spencer Dinwiddie who wants to be an angel investor or an investor and say, listen, I want to work with you. I want to be XXX. I want to be a partner, or I want to be a silent partner, or I just want to invest in you. And Spencer now has the ability to say, well, nah, I'm going to stay independent and continue doing me and building how I'm building. I don't necessarily need you. Or he could go with those people. Like you said, Dom, what was the plan? I've been saying that for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
The plan was to get as much money as he could. The plan was to convince as many stupid people as possible to give him money, and then run.
I do feel bad for them, though. I actually do. It's sad to see the slippery slope he went down, and many people predicted it. Come on, guys, you just don't come out like Muhammad Ali. You ain't had one fight, and you the greatest. I mean, that threw people for a loop. So where was you going to get this backing from? You weren't going to get it from Nike. You weren't going to get it from Adidas. You weren't going to get it from Under Armour.
He shut those doors.
Wasn't going to get it from Jordan.
He shut those doors because he said he didn't
burn so many bridges.
Well, since he never lost, I mean,
Yeah, he really lost. Don't get it twisted. He lost.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Lost $1.5 million. If he lost it.
That we still don't know where he made it, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Maybe it's in Switzerland. I don't know.
Oh,
Ain't
man.
that smart, guys. I always say that.
I just find that funny. I'm sorry.
I just want to know where all the people. It's real quiet in our group. Where all the LeVar backers? Because there was a lot of them. They was calling me out, saying I had a problem. All I do is post about LeVar. Where y'all at?
Yeah.
But see, this is the problem with social media. You could run, you could hide, you could be a blabbermouth, but when the what hits the fan, it's easy to hide.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know R no more. I don't know Chandler. Shit, I unfollow them. You're exposed.
It's funny. I should do to them.
Saying that it's only, this is the funny thing, guys, not to cut nobody off. This is what cracks me up about social media. It's not real life. It's our opinions. Unless you have some serious factually based stuff, it was designed for us to debate, have differences of opinion. Now, your boy Mark, he was like, big baller brand's gonna fail. And there was others that were just hyping it to say they wanted to be on the right side of history. Unfortunately, they weren't. But now it's easy to hide and say, oh, I don't know Mark. Who's Mark? Mark never said nothing about big baller. It's like throwing that first sucker punch and running.
Dom, should I do to them what they did to me? Dudes would tag me. See, look, he's succeeding. Look, see. Should I tag them all now?
Nah.
I'd be wrong if I did that, right?
No, you wouldn't. I would just do it for its and giggles. I'm not going to do that. It light. I try to keep it light on social media. I'll throw a joke out there with some facts behind it, just to aggravate people. Like Steven Jackson. What kind of fool is this, man? Your whole career was based on a fight. Nobody knows who Walt Frazier is. No dummy like you don't know who Walt Frazier is. Stop putting everybody in that stupid bubble you're in. Really, stop. Yeah. That's social media, and then you got idiot networks that promote this stuff just to get likes, just to get ratings. It's out of this world, man. It just goes to show his illiteracy toward the game he actually played in. That's the sad part about that incident. Not that we're getting on that. That's part of that social media and hype. You're an NBA player. You're telling people nobody knows who Walt Frazier was. Fool, if you had an eighth of his career, I would almost give you a half a thumbs up and say you were funny.
Clyde Frazier has one of the best playoff final games ever.
Yes,
I'm not gonna read off the stats because I know the stats, but y'all need to look that up.
Yeah. What 36, 12, and
19.
Forgot how many rebounds. But you know what?
He had a 39,
who was
19.
The first person to have this name on a sneaker?
Clyde.
For all you old school Puma wearers like me. Really? Who got a lifetime contract with Puma? Clyde. Thank you. But you don't know who Clyde is. Yeah.
He needs to stop. Clyde's the top 50. Well, you know what? See, I'm gonna be. You know what? Steven Jackson is a crack baby. See, he made me go there.
The product of his environment.
See, he made me go there.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna be nice. But what's funny, Dom, is me and R, we admit when we're wrong. I was wrong this year. I said the Lakers would be the second seed. Y'all can go and clown me now.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah.
But but that's the difference. You admitted you was wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
I didn't see them in the playoffs.
No.
I saw them as a second
I wasn't
seed.
on with you guys during that time, but I didn't see this going right.
No.
It was an accident waiting to happen. And guess what? Magic Johnson has to have a nickel in that dime.
Man, listen.
I don't care what people say. You gave up some good talent
Yep.
Because again, your 3 Ps weren't dotted either.
Yep.
So let's pump the brakes. We bashed Phil Jackson.
Mhm.
It's your turn, tragic.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
That's
you
right.
remember his
D'Angelo
first
Russell.
tragedy, right?
Brooke Lopez, D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle, the kid Zubats. Now, the D'Angelo Russell thing was their fault from jump. Because first of all, you don't put a rookie point guard. You don't room him with that. All right, you know what?
Go ahead. He's a crack baby too. Go ahead. Say
Listen,
it. I said
Nick
it for you.
Nick Young is a moron. You don't get to pick your own damn nickname. I'm sorry. You don't get to pick your damn nickname. All right? You don't get to nickname yourself. Okay? So whoever thought it would be a good idea to put D'Angelo Russell in as his roommate so that he could mentor him, they screwed D'Angelo Russell from jump. Okay?
Right.
So everything that happened after that was on the Lakers. That was their fault. They kept screwing over Julius. They kept screwing over Julius Randle. Why? I don't know. Because Julius Randle is a beast. Okay, you could see that from the day he got into the league. That boy was going to blossom and be really good. And then before the season started, you needed shooters. So you got rid of Brooke Lopez, who has turned into a 7-foot jump shooter. Okay, Brooke Lopez, I don't know when the last time he got a rebound, but he can shoot the damn 3 now.
He always been a 3. He's always been a jump shooter. It's just
he
just extended the range though.
Yeah, he used to rebound. Now he don't. If he gets 1 rebound in a game, that's a lot for him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what, Chandler? If he's taking threes, he's far away from the basket, so he
I
can't
get all
really
of that. But you still 7 feet tall. You still 7 feet damn
He's
tall.
always been soft though.
Go get a damn rebound. And then you had a young big man in Zubats, and you didn't have any shooters, so you traded him to the Clippers so he could get double-doubles for them. Yeah, Magic got a lot to answer for.
Yeah.
The weird thing about the D'Angelo Russell thing is we understood what happened, but you ended up getting rid of Nick Young anyway. So that's like double egg on your face. I mean, what did they think they was getting? I mean, and what did they even get back for D'Angelo Russell? I don't even know. Lonzo Ball?
No, Lonzo.
Then you think about that. Now that the horse is out the barn, and we could look back, how many players did he pass over in that draft to get Lonzo Ball? I'll give you one. Tatum.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox.
Yep.
Yeah. A point guard that ate Ball's lunch. Stole his lunch in the NCAA tournament. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Stole his lunch. Stole his damn lunch. For y'all that don't watch college basketball.
Stole lunch money and then some.
He exposed that kid before the draft.
Right.
And nobody paid attention to that. I'm like, wow. Didn't he just wear this boy out?
Can I go back to?
Yeah, he passed over Ntilikina too.
Well, no, I don't know. Frank is going to get traded from the Knicks.
Yes,
he's going to get traded.
He's going back to Europe.
Partly because he isn't this front office's player. He's not Perry's player, and Mills is an ass. But and Mills is going to act like he wasn't there with Phil. No, that's not my player. Mills, that's your player. You was there. They're gonna trade him, and for me, I just think he wasn't ready.
No, he wasn't.
Nah,
he wasn't.
He's in the wrong decade, guys.
He's in the wrong organization.
Walt Frazier. He goes back to the Walt Frazier days. That a point guard that can lock you down, good defensive play. The NBA has changed. It took the Knicks a while to figure this out.
Yeah.
It ain't about defense no more, guys.
Nicolina is not a point guard, fellas.
No, not at all.
No,
I think he's Bruce Bowen. He may be Bruce Bowen one day.
That's what I was going to say.
Point guard.
That's what I was going to say. If he winds up with Bruce Bowen's career, that's not a bad career.
Yeah, that's a good career. But don't force something on him that, you might be ruining him more than you're helping him.
Right.
It's obvious to see he's not a point guard. He don't have the aggression. He's scared to shoot. Can't shoot that good to begin with.
He's not an intuitive passer.
Yeah, we got a guy with long arms, though.
Hey, I got a question for everybody.
Go ahead, Mark.
Okay. So I know many of us probably watched the Duke Central Florida game. Is there a team that's going to draft Taco Fall? Because I think somebody. I mean, as tall as the dude is, I know his game's not polished, but I think somebody's got to take a chance on the dude because he's just that big.
Second round.
Yeah.
Late first round, early second round. He's a player though.
Yeah.
He could play.
He needs some work. The free throws, obviously, he needs to develop a little bit. I think of a mid-range jump shot. But other than that, I think, of course, again, he started playing basketball late. But I think because of his size, I figured somebody had to take a chance on him.
They have to. So
he's got to go to an established organization. He's got to go to an established organization. He's got to go to an organization that's won and that doesn't need him to come in and do anything other than maybe just take up space for some minutes off the bench initially. You know where I see him fitting the best, honestly? Golden State.
Really?
Yeah. Because why did they bring back Andrew Bogut? Andrew Bogut's not there to score. He's not there to do anything but grab some rebounds and not for nothing be a rim protector. How he became that's a whole other conversation.
And hurt somebody.
Right. Now, imagine Taco Fall coming off the bench for the Warriors and they just bombing away and he grabbing rebounds, just kicking it back out.
Right.
Yeah.
But I always have that buyer beware with a lot of people during this time of year. Because, again, I have a lot of free time on my hands, so I could watch a lot of college ball during the year. And we tend to see a game, and I'm not taking nothing away from the young man, Morant. He's going to be a stud. Then again, he stood in college 2 years. Mm-hmm. But see, when you go up against other stud teams, again, I'm an ACC guy from the South. They play a different brand of basketball, guys. This is some competitive stuff. They still got 4 or 5 teams in the tournament from one conference, and we're missing North Carolina State from the get-go. So when you go up against teams like that, and granted, Florida State was just too big for them. If you watch college basketball and you watch Florida State through the year, they're big, they're fast, and Murray State wasn't ready for them. There's no knock on Morant. He's going to be a good ball player.
Yeah.
When we start going off the ledge, when we see a guy put up 26 and 12 in the tournament, pump the brakes a little bit.
Have you watched them all year?
Yeah, I watched a lot of them. Yeah.
No,
and I knew this was going to happen. I even said it. I knew this was going to happen when they play Florida State. He's got his points. Yeah, but he just went up against the wrong team.
Yeah.
That's a different brand of ball there.
Yep.
Also, he's playing at a small school, so
that's what I mean. Team when you go up against the big boys,
his team is only going to be, he's going to do what he does, but being that his team is what it is and the conference they come from, he's going to get his, and they're going to lose. Yeah. But he is going to be a stud.
He'd be perfect with the Suns.
Oh yeah,
if he goes to the Suns. Watch out.
He don't need to go to the Suns.
Yeah, he does.
Oh yeah. That would be the bomb squad.
Going there.
That'd be the bomb squad. Are you kidding me? That'd be the bomb squad.
I'm just saying. Phoenix. Phoenix is a horrible organization.
Oh yeah, I know that.
He don't need to go there.
Right.
Yeah, then nobody should come to the Knicks.
Well,
yeah, because Mark was saying, wasn't some of the people in the group or somebody, some of the Knicks fans you saw on Twitter were throwing a fit? Hey, we got to get Ja Morant.
Of course they were.
That's what I mean.
Of course
that's what I mean about people that tune in just for the tournament. And no knock. The tournament's some great ball, but let's pump the brakes just a little bit. But if he goes to Phoenix, it would be weird though, guys, if Phoenix gets the number 1 pick.
Oh my God. Yeah. That would be.
Yeah.
But it doesn't surprise me that Knicks fans want another guard. Because we don't have enough guards on the damn team as it is right now.
Yeah.
We only have 7 guards on the team, but let's get some more.
Yeah. Crazy.
Y'all didn't see I didn't tweet it out, but our friend on Twitter be bugging. The Mad Trader, whatever. He said the Knicks should sign
God.
Brook Lopez and Kenneth Faried to 1-year deals. And he said that Durant is going to Dallas and Kyrie's going to LA. What are you smoking, man?
I can see Kyrie going to LA.
Yeah. Kevin Durant ain't going to
maybe
Dallas.
Right.
I don't know about that.
And we don't need Brook Lopez or Kenneth Faried. I like both of them, but we don't need we don't need them on 1-year contracts.
Well, you've already got Kenneth Faried and Mitchell Robinson.
Well, no, check it out, Chandler. You don't need Brook Lopez and you don't need Kenneth
No, you
Faried.
don't. But I'm saying you've already got
not on
Kenneth
1-year
Faried
deals.
and Mitchell Robinson right now, and Mitchell Robinson still has room to grow. Kenneth Faried has hit his ceiling. Okay, you have Mitchell Robinson is better than Kenneth Faried right now as far as rebounding and defense. So why would you go then sign someone who's lesser than the guy whose position he's going to play? Brook Lopez.
Not only that, both of those guys are not looking for 1-year deals, and they're not going to get 1-year deals. They're going to get multi-year deals because of who they are. Moron. Yeah. Not you, Chandler, but that idiot.
Yeah. Well,
but here's the weird thing about the Knicks, though, guys, with the wheels on the bus going round and round. They're still going to have to sign a bunch of 1-year players next year because half the squad is that now. Yeah. So how are you going to fill this roster out? It throws the theory of development out the window because you develop guys that ain't going to be here.
Yeah.
So
some of them might come back.
I'm with Mark. I don't see them. But how many of them guys are we going to bring back?
Right.
Some might be coming back.
But at what price? Like Noah Vonleh has priced himself off the Knicks.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Off the Knicks.
I agree.
If you bring him
back,
you got to overpay him. And not for nothing, I like Noah Vonleh. Listen, it looks like he's finally coming to his own. He's coming to his game. But the money you'll have to pay him, let him go somewhere else. It's kind of like that deal with Kyle O'Quinn. Kyle O'Quinn was a decent player, not for the damn money that the Indiana Pacers gave him.
Right. It's we've seen this with the Knicks a bunch of times. What's the kid Copeland?
Yeah.
He priced himself off the Knicks, but then he went to teams he couldn't get minutes on. So I don't even know where he is right now. And then
priced himself out the league.
Right.
But he got that paper though before he left.
Right. What's the kid they had? Williams. Is it Derek Williams?
Derek Williams.
Another one.
Yep.
Vonleh will be the same. I would want him back though, but at a cap friendly
bargain basement
contract.
Maybe $5 million a year at the most. But he's probably
going to get more than that.
Oh, he's going to get 7 to 9. He's going to get between 7 to 9 a year.
I don't know, guys. Again, we got to pump the brakes because the other Noah Vonleh might show up.
Yeah.
We've watched this story. Actually, I watched the beginning of his story right here in Charlotte. I mean, let's not act like this guy, was a barn burner. And you saw what happened as the year went on with the Knicks. Mm-hmm. That three stopped falling, the rebounds went down. The old Noah Vonleh.
Yeah,
coming home to roost.
His minutes got jerked though.
I like him. I like Noah Vonleh. Don't get me wrong, I do. But maybe $3 million Noah Vonleh. If he could get more somewhere else. But we're going to be doing this again next year, guys. I bring this up all the time. Chandler knows that.
Believe it.
I'm
going to tell you right now.
The bus.
They're going to blow this.
Yes,
they're going to get the 4th pick. They're going to blow it. They're going to blow it. They're going to get the 4th pick.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me? They're going to get the New York Knicks get the 4th pick in the draft. They're going to blow this. I'm telling you right now. Because I've seen this movie more than once. All right?
Is it a horror?
This organization is basically fucked.
It's a horror film,
and that's just what
it's called Us.
Yeah, it's called Us, exactly. That's what it is. So we're fucked. As Knicks fans, not me, I'm saying.
Yes, you admitted it. You just admitted it. We got him, y'all. We got him. You admitted it.
Wearing a Red Sox hat.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Why are you wearing a Red Sox hat?
Yeah, I was immediately pissed off with that Boston Red Sox hat, son.
Yeah.
I should see an NY on that cap, not Boston, not a B. I mean, come on now.
I almost thought you was wearing a throwback Brooklyn Dodger hat, but I look kind of close.
Nah.
Oh, that thing is ugly.
I wore that specifically for you.
Get that thing off your head.
Hey, can we talk about?
Stays on.
Can we talk
Stays
about
on,
the ridiculousness that the New York Giants have become?
Oh,
yeah.
good grief.
Yeah. I had a nice. Go ahead, Chandler. Bring it in. Introduce that.
You know, a couple of years ago, right, when everybody was up in arms about Geno Smith, and I remember being on Twitter just going to war with people saying McAdoo was right. If you people had just shut up, he was going to play Geno for 2 games, and then he was going to play Davis Webb. Ownership had to sign off on this move. Ownership had to sign off on the move. You do not bench a quarterback who's won 2 Super Bowls, who you've paid more money than any quarterback in the history of the National Football League, without ownership saying, yeah, okay, bench him. And as soon as all of the teeth gnashing and chest beating began, they threw Ben McAdoo ass under 100 buses. Oh, we don't know what you're talking about, man. Ben McAdoo, we ain't telling him to do that. Oh, D-Line's the man. Oh. Now, all of a sudden, they had nothing to do with Odell Beckham being traded. They didn't want to trade Odell. It was Dave Gettleman. Dave Gettleman did it all by himself. Dave Gettleman walked up to John Mara and punched him in the face and said, you will trade Odell. And then he slapped Steve Tisch and said, and you're going to sign off on it too. Because apparently Dave Gettleman runs the New York Giants, not the owners. That is the biggest bunch of crap. This is why the Giants have become the Jets, man. They've become the Jets.
Basically.
There's some dysfunctional crap going on. So twice now, you've thrown a coach under the bus. Let me ask you a question. How much respect do you think any of the players have for Pat Shurmur right now?
None.
Not a lot.
How do you play for him now? We know the one thing about football players, it's like that cult mentality, man. Let's be honest. That's that damn cult mentality with football players. They like, oh, the coach said this, we gotta follow coach. Once they don't respect the coach, it's 53 dudes. The Maras, listen, man, I ain't had respect for them for years, going back to Christian Peter, going back to the nonsense that they allowed LT to get away with, but they had a problem with Odell Beckham. They didn't have a problem with their kicker beating the hell out of his wife at the Pro Bowl. But Odell Beckham posted some on social media, oh my God, that's the worst thing ever. The Giants ownership, they need to be ashamed of them damn selves. And if I'm Pat Shurmur, I'm buffing up my resume and I'm putting out feelers through the back door to go get another job.
Right.
He said,
I'll tell you what, I'm not a Giants fan, but I'm loving this guy because he either is the most retarded person or he's got a lot of confidence in himself. But it's fun to watch, especially being a Jets fan. It is fun to watch. This guy he's actually saying, be patient, Mark. I have this under control.
You talking about the GM or the owner?
The GM.
Oh, he's a moron.
The boy from Charlotte. Did he come from the Panthers?
Well, originally he worked for the Giants.
Gellerman, whatever his name. They're talking.
Yeah, he originally worked for the Giants, but he worked in their front office. He wasn't the head guy though. He worked under people.
And then he went to the Panthers.
Right.
Right. I'm telling you, man, this guy's got more bravado than it's fun. Chandler's a Jets fan. It's fun for us. This is like, damn, they forgot the Jets suck. This is cute. Yeah.
The Giants are a dumpster fire, and as long as this guy is in charge, they're going to continue to be a dumpster fire because with all the picks they got for the Beckham trade, you watch. Somebody's going to be pissed off on draft night, and it's coming next month. We're going to see in group with the 4th round selection. The New York Giants select somebody from Nowheresville State, and you're going to be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
He's going to pick a cornerback.
Now I will say this: if they don't pick a quarterback, Wow.
No, he's gonna pick a CB, a cornerback.
I
Not a
know.
quarterback.
Not a quarterback.
Oh my God. So that means he's telling you that his long-term plan for Eli continues. Whoa. Whoa.
My
Yeah,
thing
continue
is
to
what
Statue of Liberty back in the backfield and get sacked 8 times and not even know where the hell he's at.
right.
Now they're gonna
My thing is what they said today, what the owner said. He said him and Tish both feel a certain way about trading Odell Beckham, and they know he's a once in a lifetime player. I'm like, so why'd you trade him, stupid? Why you listen to you the owner? You listen to your GM. Your GM's supposed to listen to you. Tell him to pump his brakes and relax. Don't trade that receiver. You go build. If they were smart, you build around Saquon and you build around Odell. You get you a young quarterback. The team will be good if you build the defense up and you build the offensive line. You already got skill set receivers besides Odell and all those other guys who he made better because he commands a lot of attention. Saquon commands a lot of attention. You know,
Listen, I'm
that's
happy
the
about
smart
it.
thing to do.
I'm happy about the situation. I'm very happy. I'm not a Giant fan anyway, so good. Good job, Gettleman. Keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing.
Dumb. Ghetto Dumb. Call him by his
Whatever.
name. Ghetto Dumb.
Gettle down.
I'm not mad at him. You know, like I said, I'm not a Giant fan, so whatever. You know, I just think it's funny as hell to me. I'm sorry. You know,
I'm just upset that now my boy Barkley, a Penn State kid, Bronx kid, that he may have to suffer through this.
Yeah.
well,
You know, and I was high on the Giants taking him.
Mhm.
I was like, hey, they get him this year, they'll target a quarterback next year.
Right.
But now, man,
Well,
I'm starting to think,
they're not taking a quarterback.
is he going to survive?
No.
Well,
Saquon
that's
Barkley getting 1,000 carries.
And remember, he used to run back punts at Penn State.
Right. But that's
the Giants lost those tapes.
No, that's what I call he's gonna become collateral damage. You understand the whole thing? That's just what it is. You know, it's unfortunate, but that's just what it is, man. You know?
Yeah. 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 And that's the sad part is in many ways they're ruining this young man's career early.
For sure.
They're ruining his career early. They really are.
Yeah, I agree with you. They are.
Yeah.
It's not right. And I do feel bad for him, but again, that's Gettleman for you. You know, I said a while ago, and you guys heard me, and you guys said the same thing. He's gonna ruin his franchise. I don't even know why they even brought this dude on to become general manager. I just don't understand that. Was it his impressive track record previously? I mean,
he got a Super Bowl appearance.
But here's the funny thing about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying Eli is still the future, but he never got nothing for Cam. But he never got nothing for Cam Newton. Name me a wide receiver that played on the Panthers other than Steve Smith.
The great Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah, okay.
Bunches.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just saying, look at the reverse roles he's taken.
Right.
You got more faith in Eli, but you didn't never get nobody for Cam, who is Eli on a whole bunch of steroids. I just don't get this guy, but it's fun to watch, guys. I'm really enjoying it. Go Jets.
Exactly.
Go Browns.
Yeah, there you go.
Go Browns.
There you go.
Them too.
But you know what, though? The one positive, I guess, in this is, and we've talked about this, the Cleveland Browns fans, that's a very unique fan base. It's a very passionate fan base.
Yep.
And they were feeling, listen, bad times, good times, they come out. They're like Buffalo Bills fans. They will come out and support that team no matter what. They might all sit with bags on their heads, but they're still filling the damn stadium.
Right.
So they kind of deserve their moment in the sun that's about to happen. They kind of deserve it. Now, I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan. I don't like him. I think he's a punk. I do. I think he's a punk. But I think that the Cleveland fans, they deserve this moment that's about to happen for them. And I'm happy for them because you know what I'm saying? When you see a fan base like that really does support their team no matter what, even though they know the team sucks, even though they know the owner's a moron. And Jimmy Haslam's a bad guy. Okay, let's be clear. Jimmy Haslam is a bad human being based on what he did in the aviation industry, which I've worked in. He is a terrible human being. Okay, he had people faking maintenance records. Okay, but aside from, and they still supported that damn team. So good for them. I hope the Cleveland Browns just beat the brakes off the AFC. What is it, North, Central, whatever the hell they call it now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I hope, you know what I'm saying? And so the Cleveland Browns fans can finally have a moment, because let's be honest, the last time they were good, Bernie Kosar was in the league.
Exactly.
Gives us hope as Knicks fans.
Anybody remember Brian Sipe? Yeah, because they had good teams then.
Brian Sipe was my guy.
Yeah.
He was nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Ernest Biner, to this day, man, he starts crying. He starts crying when he talks about that damn fumble. To this day.
Yeah, that was, wow, man. Brought me back to the damn. Wow.
The mistake by the lake.
Yeah.
Red Right 88.
Oh,
that's right. God. Jesus. Yeah, that was something. That was a moment right there.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Dude hadn't fumbled all year, I don't think, right? He hadn't fumbled all season.
Wow.
Right.
That's what kills me about that, man. I'm like, wow, that was a heavy moment right there. Didn't even believe it. Listen, can I get into some talk about the New York Mets and specifically Noah Syndergaard? What he had to say?
Oh yeah,
I've heard about something about Mr. Syndergaard.
You know, Chandler, you and I were talking.
Huh?
Yeah, this guy, he had some definite views on. I said he had some few views on the contract situation of Jacob deGrom, and also about the travel plans that the Mets have made. They're supposed to go to Syracuse. It's like a workout.
Yeah.
Before the season starts, and you know, Fuller wasn't a fan of this. He had said something to the extent of, this is not how championship teams are run in regards to travel plans, and maybe even to the point where with the contract negotiations of Jacob deGrom, you know. So the shots fired. Chandler, I'm gonna let you run with this one because you had some definite thoughts on this one.
Oh yeah.
You know, we discussed this a little bit before prior to the live show. So with that, I'm gonna let Mr. Chandler go on that.
Here's what the Mets did. Yesterday, I believe it was. They made regulars. They made Noah Syndergaard travel 130 miles to Sarasota, Florida, so he could throw a side session. He threw simulated 3 innings. Now, on the way home, they're going to stop in Syracuse because the Mets have a new AAA, I think it's a AAA or AA affiliate. They have a new minor league affiliate. AAA.
Yeah.
So,
AAA.
And the Mets are going to do a workout there because, you know, they got to pump up the attention for the minor league affiliate. But in the meantime, the following day, the season starts. So you don't let guys go home to get their houses together, get their families situated. No. We gotta go get some press up in Syracuse, New York. Up in Syracuse, New York for our minor league team that may draw the stadium. Most minor league stadiums are what? Maybe 15,000 at the most. At the most.
Wow.
So we can build up some press and some pub for a stadium that's going to give us 10,000 people a game. Penny pinching ass owners. Oh, and by the way, let's not pay Jacob deGrom the best pitcher in baseball right now, because that makes sense to do, because you got Zach Wheeler who's up for a contract. You haven't even talked to him, so we know he's leaving. You're not talking to Jacob deGrom. So guess what's going to happen? He's going to leave. Noah Syndergaard just told the Mets that he's not staying with them. He just told the Mets, when it's time for me to go, I'm bouncing. Because championship teams Do not do this. The Yankees, and yeah, I'm a Yankee fan, and I know it's Yankee centric. Mariano Rivera, once he became Mariano, never had a travel uniform in spring training. He didn't travel. Okay, he did not travel. Derek Jeter only traveled if he wanted. Okay, your established veterans, you were like, hey, do you want to go on this 3-hour bus trip? No, okay, no problem. Don't worry about it. That's what championship teams do. That's what good, well-run organizations do. I'm sure the Boston Red Sox do the same thing. They say their start like Mookie. Do you want to go here to Sarasota? Oh, you don't want to? Oh, don't worry about it, Mookie. Don't worry about it, Mookie. You're good. Okay, you stay here. We'll send that 4A guy. Okay, and you stay here. And matter of fact, go back to Boston. Because we getting ready to play. Go get your house set up, Mookie. Go get the family situated. We're good. This is what well-run organizations do, not what the Mets are doing. Oh, and by the way, don't think that free agents and players that are going to be free agents aren't paying attention to what the Mets are doing to Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom is really well liked in baseball. If you'll screw him over, what makes you and I'm a star player? Well, if you screw him over, and you threw Cespedes under the bus as much as you could, and you threw this guy, why in the hell would I come to your organization? Yeah. Noah Syndergaard is absolutely right. This is not how championship organizations do business. The Mets need to pay Jacob deGrom, or they should have traded him if you are not going to pay him, because now they're going to lose him for nothing or less than nothing, because if you try to trade him this year, you're going to get maybe a third of what you could have gotten last year. The Mets have screwed this up 7 ways a Sunday, and once again, the Wilpons, and I'm not going to blame the new GM. This is the Wilpons are screwing things up.
Hey, Chandler, I got a question. If they had traded, I know the Mets weren't going to do this, but let's just say if they had traded deGrom like last year, because I know the Yankees were hot on him, they would have gotten a hell of a lot more for him, right?
Oh, my God. They would have gotten the sun, the moon, the stars, 4-leaf clover, blue diamonds. You know what I'm saying? They would have got the Lucky Charms leprechaun. They'd have got all of
that. Here's the weird thing about the Yankees. The Mets going to Syracuse. So you know where that's located? It'll probably be 28 degrees tomorrow.
Yep.
In Syracuse, New York.
It's supposed to be, I live in the city. It's supposed to be in the high 30s, low 20s tomorrow.
Okay,
yes, I know.
It's cold shit.
Yes. I'm up here in Rochester.
From Fort Drum.
2 hours from me. It's cold as shit.
Yeah. It's an hour from Fort Drum, New York. I've been there. Yep. I used to go watch Derek Coleman and them play when I was a young man. When I was young. But you know what? I was reading about this morning. Most of the Mets players wanted to go straight to Washington. They wanted, I guess the Mets are opening up in D.C.
Yeah.
Most of the team wanted to just head right there and get prepared for the game. They didn't want to go home. I'm pretty sure their families are squared away. I mean, this is a weird way to open your season. I mean, with Syracuse, we have a AAA team from the Astros down here in Fayetteville now. You think the Astros are going to come down here? Really? No. We'd love to see them, but they're not coming. In Syracuse, New York, the first thing I thought about was the weather in March. I hope they're having an indoor practice. Must be at the Carrier Dome.
Right. I was just
Exactly.
It's strange.
It is. It's insane, man. But again, that's the New York Mets for you.
And for those, like we just said, it's going to be 20-something degrees. That's not good for your pitcher's arms.
No. Yep.
This 25 degrees ain't good for nobody, period.
Not for baseball.
I know you Northerners up there.
Listen, it's ridiculous on so many levels.
And it's petty.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially when your veterans, your star players came to you and said, listen, we think this would be best. If you're not going to listen to them,
right,
in this situation, when are you?
Never.
When are you?
That's a good question.
The Wilpons are on a par with Dolan with their asinine, petty, insecure ways. Those are two other there's some insecure owners Get out the way, man. Move. Like
And they both wear
Ludacris
orange and
said,
blue.
move. Get out the way. I'm a Met fan. And I'm a Yankee fan. I love them both. The Yankees treat their players with class. They're a classy run organization. They got some issues, but for the most part, I know they're trying to win every year, or at least they're trying to put a winning product on the field every year. The Mets
act like they don't care.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, here's what the Mets do. They get lucky every 10, 15 years and they go to the World Series or they get to the playoffs. They tear it down immediately.
Yeah. And you know what the worst part is? The Mets have one of the best broadcast teams left.
Always have.
Left in
They've
baseball.
always had.
Yeah, going back to Ralph Kiner and
Lindsey Nelson.
There you go, Lindsey Nelson. Right. It's
Bob Murphy.
Yes, and Bob Murphy. It's such a treat. Watching Mets games because they actually talk about baseball. Right. Oh my God. They talk about the game. They talk about situations. They talk about fundamentals. They talk about the history of the game. They don't sit there and piss and moan. Oh, I can't believe I'm gonna miss my dinner reservation because the game is going 2 hours and 1 minute. Oh my God, the pitch took 15. No, they are because honestly, they're the best ones left. Everybody else has died or retired.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Right, and just some of the other shenanigans. Yo, why y'all fronting on deGrom? Give him his money or let him go or trade him.
Yep.
Do something. Syndergaard is gone. Wheeler gone. You left with Mats.
Oh, and he'll be gone too, and then he'll blossom.
Right. Right, and then who we left with? What's the guy who started off bad last year?
Who was it, Vargas?
Vargas. We left with Vargas now.
Yeah.
And then Seth Lugo and the other guy who are really starters, but y'all got them pitching in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Those two guys are actually good.
Mm-hmm.
And they can pitch.
Not to mention the everyday players. You think Brandon Nimmo or Michael Conforto aren't paying attention to how they're treating Jacob deGrom?
Exactly.
You think they're not paying attention?
Right.
You think Ahmed Rosario is not paying attention?
Right. They finally Tom Seaver about to die, so now you want to acknowledge him.
Yeah. Yeah. Now.
Not to wish that on Tom Seaver because that's Tom Terrific is that dude, but
exactly.
Now you want to acknowledge him? Could you acknowledge Gary Carter? Could you acknowledge anybody from '86?
Yeah. No. But they had Lenny Dykstra Day though. Don't they? They acknowledge Lenny Dykstra.
Okay. Lenny Dykstra Day. Yeah. Okay.
Lenny Chief about to fall out.
It's sad that Conforto kid. I called this a couple of years ago. This kid's going to be good.
Yes,
but he won't last. He'll be another tragic Met that goes somewhere else.
Yep.
Right.
Sad. Yep. And I like that kid. I'm a Yankee fan. I don't hate the Mets.
Right. And you know what? That's the thing is, I'm a Yankee fan. I need the Mets to be good because you can't have a rivalry if both of your teams suck or if one of the teams sucks. I need both teams to be good so we could have an actual rivalry. I can't talk shit to you if your team is bad. It's like when I was a Ranger fan, the Rangers were bad and the Islanders were bad. Hey, my team sucks less than yours. Yeah, that makes for a great rivalry. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Knicks and the Nets. Well, we won 30 games. We won 31. And what's your point? We both suck.
It's never been a rivalry with the Knicks and the Nets.
But I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I got a message.
There is now.
According to who? Spencer Dinwiddie?
Listen, Spencer Dinwiddie is a very good follow on Twitter, by the way.
No, I like him. I have fun with him.
Oh, and Kenny Anderson's back on Twitter. If y'all didn't know.
Yeah,
Yes.
I saw him the other day. I gotta reach out to his people. Glad he's on the men. That's a friend to the show.
Word.
Speaking of that, did y'all hear about Nate Archibald?
No.
He had a heart transplant surgery.
Are you serious?
Yep. He was on this show. He was on this show with Kobe and somebody. They was doing something in New York, and he wanted Nate Archibald to be there. And Nate Archibald came out. He kept it under wraps. You know, he actually got a match that fast, and he got a heart transplant because he was joking with the audience. He was like, "I'm 50-something years old, but I'm really 28." You know, because of his new heart. Yeah, people forget about Nate Archibald.
I don't. Because
Tiny was that dude.
Nate used to come to the. Listen, when I lived in Bed-Stuy as a kid, Nate used to come to a lot of the parks out there, man, and play ball. That's like, listen, Nate is my dude, man. I grew. Now I don't idolize no man. I idolize Nate Archibald. Right?
I went to the college when I was stationed in Fort Bliss.
Yeah.
I went to the college in UTEP. Oh, you know that's where he went.
Right.
And they got Nate Archibald stuff everywhere.
Yeah, Dom,
Little
Kobe has a program he has in LA. He brought it to New York. The kids have a league, and it's sponsored by him and Nike. Kobe's doing some good things, man.
Oh yeah.
Okay, y'all hear me?
Yeah. Yep. What's up, man?
What's up, everybody?
What's good, baby?
What's good with y'all, man? Had to check in.
No doubt.
Kobe was a guy. I didn't. You know what? I love watching him play. I didn't like his personality. He rubbed me the wrong way. But
that's the part I liked about him.
Right. Salute to him coming full circle and doing what he's doing now. You know, he's doing a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. Growth is a beautiful thing to watch. It's a beautiful thing to watch somebody actually grow and become an actual fully realized human being. It's a nice thing to see.
See, and we started off the show talking about D'Angelo Russell. You know, how old was he when he did that little childish stuff?
Right.
You know, now he's older. He's older now. You know, he's a good ball player. You can't tell me he ain't better than Lonzo Ball. Stop. But he grew up. You know, they all grow up. Kobe was a kid when he came in the league. You know, look at him now. You know, got to give credit where credit is due, guys.
Yeah. You know, at one point, I didn't like D'Angelo Russell. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't like his game at all. And it was due to him, you know, being childish. And then when he got to Brooklyn, he flourished. And I got to give him credit. He's doing an excellent job. But I think that was needed. I don't think he would have be as good as he is now if he would have stayed with LA.
But remember, they said the same thing about Kobe Bryant. They said the same thing about Kobe when he was young. He was arrogant, he was cocky, he wanted the ball, damn this, damn that. But he grew up. That's the thing. We all know people that were 19, 20, 21. Nowadays, men don't mature until they're damn near 30 in real life. Never mind.
I was 40. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, I didn't have time for that, but you know, I had to grow up a little quick. But we've seen this movie before. You know, I'm happy for the kid, man. I always liked him. Now he got a second chance at that young of an age.
Yeah. And one thing I don't like is people saying, should he come back to LA? He need stay in Brooklyn. Be the man in Brooklyn. Please be the man in Brooklyn. You forget. I'm extremely disappointed at LA. I have my opinions. I may be wrong, but I just believe LeBron James completely messed up this entire NBA season. Him and Clutch Sports. That's just my opinion because you get with this team This LA team does not suck at all. You get with this team. Anthony Davis knew where he wanted to go from the beginning. You waited until 2 weeks before the All-Star game, and you run your mouth. Now everybody's frustrated. You're not playing good, and the Pelicans not playing good. LA not playing good. It's just a whole bunch of BS right now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This should have never went down. Luke Walton, I've been telling people Luke Walton sucks. He sucks. I don't care what he did with Golden State. That man sucks. You got all this talent, you don't know what to do with it.
Right.
I just didn't understand. You don't play JaVale McGee. I don't
He
know.
had 33 last night with
And
20 boards and 6 blocks.
What did I
Who
say
did?
before the
Who had that?
season? JaVale
Seriously?
McGee. Yeah, he had
Before
33,
this-
20, and 6
Wow.
Before
Jack
the
of the
season
last night.
started, before the season started, what did I tell people? Play JaVale McGee because he's going to have a good year, and he did not play him. A lot of people don't like Lance Stevenson, but he should have been getting more playing time. Beasley should have been getting more playing time, but he was too busy playing Contavious Pope, and dude wants to show up when he wants to show up, and he got that big contract.
He's gone after this year.
This
And he's a bum.
team, this is terrible, and it's disgusting to even watch.
No,
What
At
I
this
wanted to
point,
say to
I'm
y'all,
putting
It's
it on
actually
it's
actually fun to watch because this is the first time in LeBron's career he didn't get his damn way. Now you got to man up. You didn't have that before. Everywhere he went, except when he got drafted, everywhere he went to something ready built.
Yeah.
Now he got to man up. You try to strong arm a trade, that didn't work. You pissed everybody off on the team, that didn't work. And guess what? They're in the same boat as us. Except they're not going to get a top 5 pick.
They're worse. Can I?
Yeah, they're not going to get a top 5 pick.
I got a question for y'all. Luke Walton's gonna get fired, and Jason Kidd possibly is real strong that he will be the next coach of the Lakers. Do y'all think? Hold on. Do y'all think that Jason Kidd and LeBron can coexist?
Oh hell no!
And can Jason Kidd build a winner in LA?
Absolutely not. That's a dumpster fire waiting to happen. Listen, get your popcorn, get some hot dogs, right? Get some comfortable shoes on. Get your what's them things they used to call the Snuggie, whatever that thing is, the little blanket thing with the arm. You know what I'm saying? Get in your comfortable chair, dude. It's a train wreck. If Jason Kidd is coaching the Lakers next year, it's a train wreck.
Why is it a train wreck?
Jason Kidd is horrible. All right.
Horrible as what?
He's a horrible human being.
That may be true.
And if you notice, his teams have always underperformed. Let's be honest. Jason Kidd is not a great coach. When he's had teams that weren't supposed to do anything, his teams overachieved. When his teams got better and enough talent where they were supposed to do well, how did they do? Jason Kidd has not prospered with more talent. He's prospered with less talent. The Lakers are going to give him a lot of talent, okay? And I'm not a fan of LeBron James at all. I think LeBron James is a terrible leader. I think he's a terrible teammate. I think he's a guy who pouts. I think he's a guy who will throw everybody under the bus at this stage of the game to justify his ego.
Right.
Jason Kidd is the exact same way. There's no way in hell they get along.
I
just had to ask that question, bro.
There's a double-edged sword to what you're saying, Mark, because I know where you're going with this, with the Bucks. But then when you look at the numbers, and yes, he put them in a better position.
Right.
But this coach took them to a higher level.
Yes, I agree with that.
Could Kidd have done that? I'm like Chandler. I'm gonna get my popcorn out because guess what? At the rate they're going, the Clippers might draw more free agents than the Lakers.
They probably will because right now, when you look at the Clippers have they got nice players on their roster. You know,
cap
that
space.
point guard, they got cap space because they got rid of Tobias Harris, which cleared even more cap space.
And DeAndre Jordan.
Right. Well, no, DeAndre was. Yeah,
Oh,
they
no.
got rid of DeAndre. Right, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Blake Griffin.
They got rid of Blake Griffin. So, also, there's a rumor that Doc Rivers might be going to the Lakers. Also, would that work? But he said no.
Watch that.
Yeah, Doc
said no.
Yeah.
But let me tell y'all
I give
something
him
real
credit
funny.
with that Clippers team, though.
Let me tell y'all something funny. The Clippers got rid of their best player. The Lakers got the best player. One's going to the playoffs and one's going to the lottery. How did that work? How did that work? That's some ironic stuff, man. Serious.
Yeah.
If you told me that the Clippers and the Heat or somebody were going to be in the playoffs this year, I'd have leaned more toward the Heat. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I would have leaned toward the Heat.
You know what? Doc Rivers, because for a lot of years, I said Doc Rivers, I had questions about him as a coach. Because once Tom Thibodeau left him, his teams were not good. Let's be honest. His teams were not good. He lived off the reputation of that championship for a while. Doc Rivers has actually coached this year. Doc Rivers can coach.
I always thought he was overrated.
So did I.
Amen.
Well, he always had talent. Wherever he went, he had talent. Boston, he had talent. Orlando, he had talent.
It almost
Clippers,
takes you back to. It almost takes you back to how many Super Bowls did Bill Parcells win without Bill Belichick?
None.
There you go. Right.
How many did Belichick win without Parcells?
Tons.
So who was the real genius, right? Who was the real genius?
I know we're getting off track here, but I'm just saying.
No, we keep in perspective.
Yeah, we thought Doc Rivers was highly overrated. He had the first big three and walked away with one championship.
Right.
Yep. And then once Thibodeau left, those teams couldn't even get back to the finals.
Well, you know what, Chandler? He also had Mike Woodson with him there also, a couple of other coaches, other assistant coaches. He had good assistant coaches with him.
Yeah,
and would the Celtics have won that first championship against the Lakers if Bynum didn't get hurt?
I don't think they would have, because that was when Andrew Bynum was at his best. Andrew Bynum was a monster then.
Yeah, double guy.
Easy double.
Because what happened when they had Bynum? They beat the Celtics.
Right.
Yep.
It's a weird situation. But I like what he's doing with the Clippers. Maybe some coaches are just better, like somebody just said, that coach better teams with less talent. You're actually forced to coach.
Yeah.
You're actually forced to coach. Hey. But I tell you what, they may be in a better boat than the Lakers, guys.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
This will be
they number 5 right now.
Right. This will be the 6th year the Lakers are not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just my God, just disgusting, man. Yep. And I was going to go to an LA game this year, but to the Lakers game this year, it ain't gonna happen. So I'm going
to a Clippers game.
Yeah, when the playoffs start, I'll be out there in LA.
All right.
Yeah, I got the tickets for I got good seats, cheap too. I got them early.
So, hey yo, Nick,
that's how you get good tickets for the playoffs. You got to get them early, like a month before it start, or you can get them like 3 weeks before it start.
Listen, you need to get a picture with Doris Burke and give her my number.
You trying to holler, Chandler?
Absolutely.
Hey, you know who I like? Hey, what's that young white chick name? Kristen, whatever her name is. I can't remember her name right now. But she a young one though.
Man, listen, Doris Burke knows basketball and she fine. And Doris Burke knows basketball, by the way.
Doris can also play. She'll bust your ass, Chandler.
Yes. Oh, I know that. They did one. People don't realize they were doing something one day, and she was sitting there in high heels and a skirt, man, and did a crossover. Went between legs, crossed over.
She also does those seminars with those rookies.
Yes.
Right.
In the NBA.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Doris Burke could play and did play, and she was nice.
Yes. Listen, I would love to just sit down with Doris Burke, man, and just talk basketball. Because to me, she and Hubie Brown are on the same level when it comes to talking basketball. Dude, I would kill to just sit down and talk basketball with Hubie Brown. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, Hubie.
Yo, I got a question. I want to flip it back to college basketball. What do y'all think of Tom Izzo and his actions with the young player?
Oh man. It depends with certain people, because a lot of people was talking about how he was pointing his finger in the kid's face or whatever, and saying that was disrespect, and it is. But at the same time, sometimes people need that in order to get up off their ass and
Right.
do what they gotta do, because I don't see people in the army complaining, and they getting worse. They getting worse.
Not anymore.
Well, okay,
Not anymore.
my bad.
But it's still, yeah. I wouldn't be the guy to ask that question to, because I was in that position, watching kids get off a bus, and they didn't know left from right, and you had no choice but to yell at them.
Yeah.
You didn't. I mean, we used to flip coins.
It gets frustrating, man.
Yeah.
It gets frustrating, and everybody wanna. I don't know. It just nowadays people just want you to be soft, man.
Right. It's not
when you become successful, it's because somebody lit that fire under your ass.
But that's true. But it's not soft. What it is listen, Larry Eustace got fired for cursing at a kid. Okay? There are coaches who have been fired for far less than what Tom Izzo did. Okay? Right. In this era. Okay, and we're talking specifically this generation, this era. I'm not going to say they're soft, but what it is people are saying now, listen, that doesn't work anymore. And maybe for this kid, it did work. But my problem with Izzo wasn't the first when he went on the court. I don't have a problem with that. Why are you lunging at the kid while you're sitting in the timeout?
Right.
Why is your fist balled up? Okay? Why is your fist balled up?
But why are we even having this?
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, Chandler, why are we even having this conversation? Because this is what he does.
He's always done it.
But it doesn't.
Look, guys. Okay.
But go ahead, Chandler. Chandler was trying to say, talking about him balling up his fists and
right.
But what I'm saying though is Tom Izzo, and I know this is kind of getting off a little bit, but Tom Izzo didn't have a problem with all the terrible things that went on at Michigan State.
Right.
Okay. He didn't have a problem with any of that. Okay. But this unpaid college basketball player, he didn't do his job. Last I checked, he ain't getting a damn paycheck, Tom. Last I checked, Tom, it's your job at this stage of the game to have coached him up so that he's not making those mistakes. So who are you really mad at, Tom? Him or you? I get why people got upset. I also get why people are saying that it's not a big deal. Listen, I revere Bobby Knight as a coach. I was stationed with a dude that went to University of Indiana, played for Bobby Knight. Okay,
a wild dude.
Bobby Knight, but his players graduated and they became good. They became productive citizens. Okay. Right. Now you can disagree with his methods, but the shit worked. All right. However, in this era of basketball, sports in general, if other coaches can't get away with it, Tom Izzo shouldn't be allowed to get away with it either.
I think the other young man, I think Nico was trying to hit on a point of, and I kind of agree with this. Come on, guys. We have become a very soft society.
Yes.
You know, we all learn and we all know, if you've ever been in a leadership position, people have different leadership traits. They have different leadership styles.
Yep.
Some are rah-rah, boom-ba-yay. Some are like a Johnny Dawkins type. You know, he looks like he got that calm demeanor, you know. But we understand this going in there. But I'm the only thing I don't like about Izzo is how he ducks and dodges everything. That's the thing I don't like.
Right.
Because he sure ducked and dodged all that stuff Chandler brought up about Michigan State. I'll talk when the time is right. Well, you know what? When's the time going to be right? How did that go? How did that go away so fast? You ain't heard nothing about that.
Nope.
Right? Am I right?
You're right.
I follow college sports. That went right under the rug, and he still to this day never answered the question.
And never will, probably.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like the conversation we had about the people getting into college with bribes.
Right.
You know, this shit's been going on forever, guys. You know, now we become more aware of stuff with social media but
I don't think we became aware. I think since it's on social media, the whole world and even like the FBI knows about it and probably got to do something about it. And this my thing, right? These kids is going to school on scholarships or whatever. A lot of them coming from poor families, and I feel as though they getting exploited, and something needs to be done about that. Maybe I'm wrong or whatever, but you know, I've watched documentaries on HBO and stuff like that, and when these kids injure themselves, they don't know how to read, they don't know how to do nothing, and they go home and they broke. It's their fault, the parents' fault, and the college fault.
Yep.
Right.
And I think something needs to be done about it, like seriously. And I'm not saying people need to get on the internet and start saying boycott the NCAA, but somebody got to pay. Y'all getting paid billions of dollars, and I'm watching documentaries of this football players. They can't even read cat in the hat, and I know they not faking it. You know when somebody really have a learning disability and really just can't comprehend stuff. He may be big and fast or whatever, but he needs something to fall back on. He needs to have communication skills. He needs to know how to.
They're not there for that.
How long ago was this exposed with Dexter Manley? Remember that story?
God. Just getting ready to say that, Dom.
30 years now?
Remember that?
Is it 30 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And now we want to sit up here and talk about how these white women are paying their children way through college. Like, come on, man, let's be serious.
Yeah.
Well, you heard.
That's not even important. These kids is getting exploited.
You heard who else got caught?
Kids.
You heard about Dr. Dre, right?
Well, Dr. Dre, I just gotta say
with his daughter in USC.
70 million.
Dr. Dre is a herb. He's always been a herb. He's a clown. The dude paid he gave USC $70 million. I think he sits on a board with them.
That's right.
I have no problem if his daughter is a legacy type person. I have no problem with that. But Dre, why'd you post that? Then you deleted it once you got the clap back, and you know, stop it, man. You.
If I'm not mistaken, she had charges.
Yes. Yeah.
Some kind of felony charges.
Yes.
Who? His daughter?
You know what, guys?
Yes.
Hey, Mark, you remember when we brought this up before? It would be a shock if we heard. It wouldn't be a shock. That's what I mean. Hey, you know what? I heard Barry Bonds paid for Mark to go to UCLA. We'd be like, all right. Really? And you think the FBI is going to clean this up? Really?
But you know what? You know what, though? I think the reason people are coming from Tom Izzo's neck right now is because of what you brought up, Dom. He's been skating on a lot of stuff. And this was their opportunity to go at his neck. You understand what I'm saying? But because he's cultivated so many friends in the media, you understand what I'm saying? That thing got snuffed out. But I think this was the opportunity. People took this opportunity because what he did, like I said, my biggest issue is when he lunged at the kid while they were sitting down. If you lunge at me, I'm punching you in your face. Let me be clear. All right. But and if that kid had two-pieced him right then, the kid would have been well within his rights. Yo, I'm sitting here, we talking, and you just come at me. I'm a two-piece you. But I think this was people's opportunity to come for Izzo's neck. I think they might have seen an opportunity. Unfortunately, it got short-circuited. But Tom Izzo, listen, there's some people with some knives waiting on him to make a misstep.
But here's the problem with that, Chandler. The media, especially the sports media, they don't report nothing no more. It's like good cop, bad cop.
Right.
It's just something to, I'm not going to say sway you off the issue, but everything you see in the sports media now is good cop, bad cop. Yeah. I don't agree with Chandler. Well, Chandler's right. It's sickening now. Just call it out for what it is.
Right. Well, you know what? You know why there's a reason for that. And a lot of there's not really is more good cop than bad cop, because certain networks are in bed with the universities.
Exactly.
They in bed with the conferences like ESPN, like Fox. Everybody has a network. The ACC has a network. The Big East got a network. The Big Ten got a network.
Yeah.
So everybody's in bed together. So if I work for ESPN and I'm getting at whoever, this university and that coach, that's bad for business. That's bad for all of us.
That's right. That's right.
And you know what? I hate to say this, but what's his name made a living out of this? That Skip Bayless guy. Yeah. He made a living out of this. I was in Texas. I was in Texas when he wrote that book, and he was telling those stories. To this day, you couldn't put Troy Aikman and Skip Bayless in the same room.
Oh, Aikman will crush him. Aikman wants to
I ain't mad at Troy on that.
Troy Aikman will tell you, I don't know what I would do.
Yep.
I happened to be in Texas at that time, and people in Texas was flipping. And guess what? Skip Bayless went somewhere else. I think he went to Chicago.
Right.
Yeah, he disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Like the punk he is, because he is a punk. I don't never liked him. I never liked
First of all, people thought he was crazy because he was trying to get attention, saying Steve Walsh would lead the Cowboys to a Super Bowl faster than Troy Aikman. He was already on the slippery slope with that. Then he went into the Aikman and the gay stuff, and that just, Texas is a big state. And they were coming at him hard. And all of a sudden, matter of fact, he left Texas before me. Yeah, I think he went to Chicago.
Yeah, and then he went to New York. He made pizza. Then I was when he showed up on Cold Pizza.
And he made a living out of doing this. He don't give you facts. He don't give you facts. He gives you innuendos. But you know what? Like I say, I can't believe that I don't watch these shows, but when I skim through the channels, it's like I'm watching a repeat. Because they're talking about the same thing, and you got the good cop, bad cop. I just want to see the highlights. I want to get some news. I don't want to hear what you think. I mean, really, we all think. I mean, show me what the guy did. Show me some numbers. All of this debate and stuff, that's getting a little corny now. But you know what? People are tuning in. So that's the sad part.
Yeah. Well, because they used to actually give you information. Like Cold Pizza, I used to watch Cold Pizza. You would actually get some real inside info. You would get some real insight into certain situations. Now, basically, every show you watch, here are the three topics: LeBron James, the Dallas Cowboys, and whatever other hot thing happened that day. But you're guaranteed two topics for the majority of the show: LeBron James and the Dallas Cowboys.
But you remember, Chandler, during Cold Pizza, they had a real sports journalist on there then, Woody Page.
That's right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
They had Woody Page. Say what you want about Woody Page. He's a hell of a journalist.
Yep.
He didn't just write stuff to be writing it to get a rise out of people. He gave you what he gave you.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been a good journalist.
Yeah.
These guys ain't journalists no more. Stephen A. Smith still talking about when he was in Philly.
He used to be good.
Man,
yeah.
I don't know what happened. Let me hold y'all up for 1 minute. I just want to say rest in peace to Bob Slade. I wouldn't be doing In the Paint if it wasn't for Bob Slade and Art Rush Jr. Both of those men, I didn't meet them, but I used to sit and listen to Art Rush Jr. as a kid, and I just picked one day I picked up. I'm like, this dude is talking about baseball. Great dude. And Bob Slade, just his views on our situation and things that go on in the community, he's gonna be missed. Rest in peace to Bob Slade.
Yes.
Let's go.
Oh, dude.
He's like our version of Frankie Crocker, huh, Chandler?
Yeah. He was, man, because it went from Frankie to Bob Slade. It did.
Yeah.
The torch was passed to him, and he did a fantastic job with it. He really did.
It's amazing how much of my New York history I still know after all these years.
Man, because it's certain things that stick with you. You know what I'm saying?
I still have that song, Chandler, that they played at the end of the show for Frankie Crocker.
Yeah.
There I go, there I go, there I go. Chandler.
Moody's Mood. The name of the song is actually Moody's Mood.
Right. Yeah. Chandler, our friend who passed that you sound like, he did a straight radio show playing music, and he talked about different topics. Just he would play Moody's Mood, you know, as tribute, and his show was just crazy. He used to get a lot of listeners on it. But yeah, this it's a lot of we losing a lot of our legends.
Yeah. It's and there's no one to replace them. There's no one to replace them.
Tiny having heart trouble. I think somebody from the Knicks passed today.
Oh, Russell.
Cassie?
Campy.
Yeah, Cassie Russell.
Are you serious?
Not Cassie, Campy.
Wait a minute.
Who?
Which one?
Campy Russell.
Oh, I liked him too, though.
I used to love Campy Russell. That was my guy. Rest in peace to Campy Russell. If y'all are basketball, if you're a real basketball fan, you'll know who that is.
Exactly.
If you're a real Knick fan, you'll know who that is.
Yeah. Exactly. It's that was part of growing up in New York. That was part of the fabric of what made. That's why I'm a crazy Knick fan to this day. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm passionate about the topics, and that's why I'm passionate about certain things and trying to do something positive, because we had Frankie Crocker, we had Bob Slade, we had these guys that, even though they were doing these other things, they conducted themselves in a way to say, you know what, you can be better. You can be better. You don't have to be the cat standing on the corner hustling up 50 cents for a quart of beer. You ain't got to be that dude. You can be better.
Again, Chandler, we go back to the days where we knew who Marley Marl and Red Alert was before they got on radio.
Yeah.
We knew them, especially me growing up in the Bronx. I knew who Grandmaster Flash was. It pained my heart when Sugar Hill put that record out. And all the hip hop artists in New York back then in the 70s were like, who the hell are these guys?
Yeah.
We had that history because, you know what? Growing up in the city, we had it tough, but we always saw some sort of light at the end of the tunnel.
Yep.
And whether it was Frankie Crocker, and then
excuse
in the
me,
late
fellas,
70s,
it was Cal Ramsey who passed.
Oh, Cal Ramsey, yeah.
Okay.
Cal Ramsey. But we knew, like everybody now talks about the struggle. I grew up in the Bronx when the Bronx was burning.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me about a struggle. You either find your way out of it or you stay in it. That's your choice. Don't get me wrong. But see, we grew up in that era and we always had something to look forward to, whether it was the Yankees, me as a kid, the Knicks.
Yep.
We had something to look forward to. We had something to look at, I should say.
Yeah.
And that's what made life as hard as it was. It made it, hey, you know what? You remember guys in December going outside, scraping the basketball court after watching the game on, what was it, on CBS then?
Yeah.
Getting the ice off the backboard, playing ball with gloves on.
Yeah.
We remember those days.
Yep.
First of all, nothing kept us indoors. Nothing.
I don't see kids
we were
outside.
Always outside.
Right yeah.
Yeah, we're missing that now, guys. A lot of people are missing the boat. They talk about the struggle is real, but I don't think they experienced our struggles.
No.
Right.
Maybe
Listen,
I'm old school.
I remember playing, I think I was maybe fourth grade. We were call ourselves playing football out in the snow. I broke my man's leg. Right. We were playing tackle in the snow. Right. And here's the thing. It was Sunday. We had just watched the games. Everybody went outside after the first football game, because we want to be outside before, while the second game was going on, because usually the first game was the Jet game for us where I live. We was Jet fans. So we watched the Jet game because the Jet game was always the early game. The Giant game was the 4:00 game. So after the Jet game, we go outside and play. And I'm, oh man, dude, listen, you want to talk about form tackle? I caught his ass just right. His leg was planted, snapped his leg in half.
Damn.
Yo, I remember as a kid, we used to play softball in between the buildings. We had like a diamond.
Yeah.
So we extended we made our baseball field just a little bit bigger. The sewer was home plate. My boy broke his ankle on the sewer sliding into home in the cement.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
looked at him. We was like, "Why did you slide?" He said, "I was trying to win."
Yep.
Because it was building versus building.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny because when I was a kid, where I grew up, we didn't have a lot of sports. So me and a good friend of mine, Bobby Bell, we were baseball players. So we used to have to travel to different parts of the Bronx to play for teams because we didn't have a team. And that's where I first met. We played a game at this place called 18 Park. I don't know if y'all ever heard of 18 Park, Echo Park in the Bronx.
Echo Park, yeah.
I know where Echo Park is. I got family that lived around there. So,
We're out there
played in that park.
We're out there playing a baseball game. And all of a sudden we see everybody gathering in the park. They're putting speakers up. And that was Flash. Flash was out there spinning tunes.
Yeah.
And what made it so amazing back then is it was the total opposite of how it is today. Flash was so nasty that he was cutting the beats to them rapping instead of how they're doing it now, where a guy raps over a beat. Flash was actually doing this as they would. And we're just sitting there, we're kids, we're like 14 years old, 13 years old, watching this shit like, damn.
Yeah.
And my good friend Art, God rest his soul, he just passed away. He told me, Dom, this ain't gonna last. It's gonna be like disco. It's gonna be here today and gone tomorrow. I was like, I don't know, Art. But believe me, I rubbed it in him for years. Hey, what happened to that hip hop is gonna, it ain't the same, don't get me wrong, especially if you're old school, but it survived. And that's the thing, guys. So much of the history comes from where we live in New York City.
Yeah.
That people skim over, hip hop music, the Yankees, all of that shit comes right from, especially my own borough in the Bronx.
Yep.
That's what always made me proud when I traveled the globe. I wasn't shy to say I was from the Bronx. Oh, you're from the Bronx? Hey, man, come on. I've been in the Army long enough. It ain't about the Bronx. It's anywhere USA. Y'all just didn't have the shit we had in the Bronx. We apologize. But, hey, that made us better people, man. Be honest.
Listen, I was in Covenant House with KRS-One. Scholar Rock was a counselor there. A lot of people talk about Scholar Rock. People don't realize that he worked at Covenant House.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He was giving back to his community while he was rapping. A lot of dudes was doing that back then. They were doing things in the community while they was trying to get on. You saw them, like you said, Dom, you saw them walking around. You could reach out, touch them. They were, you know what I'm saying? You could see them, talk to them. This nonsense now, it's funny because you don't realize who's watching you as a role model. You don't realize who's watching you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You don't know what kid is watching you and how you move and says, you know what? I like what that person is doing. I want to do that too. People don't realize that. And they don't pay attention these days to that. That how you move, there's some kid watching you right now, how you moving. And you're impacting his life, whether you realize it or not.
Oh, yeah.
What did Joe DiMaggio say years ago when somebody asked him, why you play so hard all the time? He said, because there may be a kid in that crowd that never saw me play before.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
And we're
that's like
talking Joe DiMaggio here.
Yep.
It ain't like Joe had to prove something.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Right. It's
You
like
know?
in my 20s, we used to hang out and we would see people from the New York Giants hanging out in the city. We be in a club with Anthony Mason and Charles Oakley and what's the dude Anthony Bonner used to roll with them.
Oh yeah.
And we would see them in the club and they would shake people's hand. They didn't even go in the VIP. They was mingling amongst the people. And that's one of the reasons why I respect Anthony Mason and I respect Charles Oakley because they well who's gonna mess with them 6'9", 6'7" dudes anyway?
Mason was huge, man.
What?
Mason was just, oh my God, huge.
But you know what? The thing is with them is, it again, different eras. None of them guys you just mentioned, with all the fame and accolades they have, they never thought they were bigger than the game.
Nope.
So that means they never thought they were bigger than the people watching the game.
Right.
We don't have that no more, man. We don't.
No.
You know, these guys live in these glass houses. You know, come on. I don't know. I'll tell you what, when people say, you know, why you talk about the old days if they were so good? Because I lived through them and I'm seeing what's going on now. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
If y'all hear some snoring, that's the dog, by the way.
Leave the dog alone, man. Let the dog get her rest on.
She snores like
hating, man.
Dude, because she been farting all day and now she's snoring.
Well, that's your fault. leave the dog alone. Can the dog live?
She ran me out my own room, bro.
That's her room now.
Yeah, apparently.
You didn't know?
I'm like,
I always mess with Chandler and the dog.
I'm like, what is that smell? Oh man. But no, you guys, you know, it's I guess that's why I guess for me, now that I've actually grown some, I'm not gonna say grown up, grown some. I try to take a stand on something and try to be proactive and try to support people, because I look back now and I look at all the people that supported me, even when one, I didn't deserve it, and two, when I wasn't able to acknowledge it or even accept it, and they still supported.
Right.
You know, and it's so many of those people. I mean, I remember people telling me, man, listen, man, I joined the Navy when I was 17. Part of the reason I joined the Navy was because so many people told me, dude, you better than standing on the corner, literally hustling up. You had 5 people trying to hustle up enough money to get a quarter bid, which was 75 cents. 75 cents. Don know what I'm talking about. You had 4 cats trying to get enough for 75 cents for a quarter bid. You got 4 people and y'all ain't got 3 quarters between you. Seriously?
Our magic number back then was $1.33 for 3 people. And somebody threw in that extra penny, and guess what we got for $5?
Oh man, I go back.
Hope the FBI ain't listening.
Yeah.
I go back to Holla and our friends, our crew. We would get chicken wings and fried rice. What we getting? Chicken wings and fried rice.
Yeah. You know, but there was somebody telling you, yo, you could be better than this. You're supposed to be better than this. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was the dude, the bum that was standing, you know what I'm saying, trying to hustle up some money for his bottle of Thunderbird, he was like, yo, young buck, you ain't supposed to be out here. You better go somewhere, get you a job, get your education. Who's telling these kids that these days?
Yeah. I know I get into some things with people on Facebook, and they like, oh, you just be talking, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, my family. I got family that works with they work with homeless people. So we also help, you know, if they need help at a soup kitchen, you go and help. Every job I've had, you know, since I've gotten older, I've had younger people around me try to tell them, hey man, listen, yo, you can't be cursing in the elevator full of these white people. I try to mentor when I can.
Yeah. Just be professional. I mean,
Yep.
it's not the worst thing for me these days is they have all of these employment deals.
Right.
It's easy to teach somebody how to get a job. You know what's hard?
Right.
Keeping a job.
Yeah.
You know what's hard? Building a career. Because if you don't know how to keep a job, if you don't know how to navigate office politics, there's office politics no matter where you are. You could be a freaking Dunkin' Donuts. Trust me. Some office politics is damn Dunkin' Donuts, okay? You can go to a job interview and ace the interview and not get the job. Why? Just because they don't like you. Has nothing to do with color of your skin, has nothing to do with your gender. Sometimes people just don't damn like you. It happens.
Yeah.
You understand?
Reality that you gotta accept that too,
Yeah.
And sometimes it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We don't accept things. I was talking to my son the other day, and I said, man, you know what? If somebody told me 30 years ago that I would have retired, I'm 3 weeks away from getting an MBA. If somebody would have told me that shit 30 years ago, they'd be sitting on the couch that I'm sitting on right now. Not the couch in my house. I'm talking about the couch, that once every 2 week couch. I wouldn't have believed that. But you know what? One day I woke up and said, you know what? First of all, they're letting me do this for free. Why not take advantage of it? And that's what I do. Like you guys do with the homeless. I always try to reach out to vets. And a lot of them are so stuck on, they hear the letters VA and they get thrown for a loop. And the VA has failed. Let's be honest, they have failed in numerous occasions. But they're trying. And when it comes to your educational benefits, if anybody's out there listening, they don't fail at that. They don't.
No.
Use your benefits, man. I talk to people at Fort Bragg that are getting out. And they're like, nah, Top, we don't want to hear that. That shit don't work. I'm telling you, I did it. If somebody would have told me 30 years ago when I was growing up in the Bronx that I would have did 20 plus years in the military, got out and went to college, I wouldn't have believed it. I still don't believe it. And it's not a tooting your own horn. It's just maybe somehow, some way, what you say may touch somebody.
Exactly.
I told y'all this story before. A wise man once told me when I was a young buck sergeant, you ain't gonna touch everybody. But if you touch 1 out of every 3 soldiers, you're batting 333.
That's right.
There's plenty of people in the Hall of Fame that's not batting 333.
That's right.
That shit stuck with me like glue.
Yeah.
It stuck with me like glue.
And
you're not going to touch everybody. Yeah, you're not going to touch everybody. But if you don't try, then you ain't going to touch nobody.
Right. You just got to reach one. You just got to reach one. If you reach one person, your life has been successful. You understand what I'm saying? Your life has been successful. I do the same thing. Every time I go to the VA here, and by the way, I hate the Rochester VA. It sucks. But every time I go there, if I see a vet there, hey, man, are you doing vocational rehab? Do you know about vocational rehab? Do you know about travel pay? How did you get here today? Go do your travel pay. Listen, are you signed up for this? Are you signed up for, are you on my healthy vet? Are you on benefits? What are you doing? Because if you don't tell them, a lot of them don't know because no one tells them. A lot of them don't know because, listen, there was a point in my life, man, where I hated the VA so much that I would not go. And it wasn't beneficial for me because it just prolonged a lot of issues I had. But that's how much I hated the VA. And you got to say to them, you talk to as many as you can and hope that one of them takes the knowledge. Because I think the first time I got out, I was working in Long Island for Citibank. I was working at a place where they fixed the ATMs and everything. And it was this old Marine gunny sergeant there. And y'all, you know how gunny sergeants are. You know what I'm saying? E9s are E9s. I don't give a fuck what branch of service you in. E9s are E9s. And he was like, "Are you signed up with the VA? You got your VA ID card?" And he rolled my ass until I showed up at work one day with that damn VA ID card. Because he was like, "Listen, you got 2 weeks." He said, "Otherwise, it's going to be a problem."
Chandler, before we get cut off, you know what I learned today? That I have been given back $1,100 because I wasn't smart enough to go back on e-benefits and apply for unemployability with all my disabilities.
Really?
Yep. You could go on eBenefits and do just like you're doing a claim, type in unemployability, and you're getting an extra $1,100.
Wow.
And then you could parlay that over to Social Security.
Right.
I didn't know that. So, matter of fact, it was about 5 hours ago. One of my neighbors works at the VA in Winston-Salem. And he brought it up to me. I was like, unemployability? That sounds like I'm crippled.
Right.
No, it's not you being crippled. It's just you've earned this. As long as you don't get a job and you're making more than what the poverty level is, which nowadays is $38,000 a year, believe it or not, you can still go on with your life. But see, this is something I didn't know. And I'm like, wow. And it's all tax-free.
Right.
Right. Just for, for FYI, Chandler, in case I spoke to you a long time ago about helping you with your claim and everything.
Yeah.
I learned that today. I thought I was tapped out, Chandler.
I know. And see,
I'm thinking I'm being greedy now. I'm getting a returement check, education money, disability. Social, what the fuck else do I need? Damn.
What's crazy,
I need a job.
But what's crazy, Dom, is when we talked about that back then, right? And at the time I was real resistant. You understand what I'm saying? Because it was a pride. It was a pride thing. I didn't want to.
You never used my phone number either.
Well, because I didn't want to accept the fact that my body basically was breaking down. You understand what I'm saying? That was a hard place for me to get to. Hard place for me to get to accept that I'm no longer who I used to be. You understand what I'm saying? That my body literally is broken. And that's a mental thing. It's a mental thing to get to that place and accept that. But everything you told me, I wound up doing. I got my Social Security. I got the unemployment. I did all of that. It's hard. It's hard when you're used to being active and productive to accept that you have to now be active and productive in a different way.
But you know how, not to change the subject, you know what got me through that, Chandler? Is I thought when I joined, I didn't have these problems. Now they're your responsibility. That comes with the territory.
Yeah.
They're your responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the VA. I'm your responsibility.
I work there. Yeah.
Damn it.
And that's like I said, and that's part of the problem for a lot of vets is we get stuck in. I used to be able to run up and down a flight deck with 70-pound test boxes on my shoulder, 30-pound tool belts on my waist. You understand what I'm saying? A 40-pound SINS cable on the other shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Do a dead full sprint. Dude, I can barely get out of bed now. That's a hell of a thing to reconcile.
Trust me, I know, Chandler. I was in the infantry for 20 years. But you know what? I kept in the back of my head. I don't give a shit how old I got. I was not like this when I joined the service. You're damn right. I'm sorry. I did for y'all, like you always hear. I did for y'all. Now y'all got to do for me. I hate to say y'all did this shit to me, but you did.
Yeah.
Between my brain and my knees, y'all had a nickel in that dime. That's all. Right. Just because I retired don't mean that y'all still don't owe me. I had an argument with the judge at Social Security. Don't look down at me because I'm getting a retirement check, disability, education. Your ass is entitled to Social Security. Right. So is mine. But you're not entitled to VA benefits because you didn't join the service. She looked at me. I was like, I'm sorry, ma'am, but don't look down at me like I'm trying to quadruple dip. That's not on me. I'm sorry. Get that shit out of here. I'm not cocky, but I will tell you this. I earned what I got.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody gave me this shit. Nope. Sorry. Not to get off the sports tip, but
yeah, but that's a place that a lot of vets, unfortunately, it takes them a while to get to, where they can take the emotion out of it and look at it for what it is. They broke me. They broke me. They now have to pay for breaking me. It's not a handout. I'm not asking for something I didn't earn. I'm not asking for something I don't deserve. Because you know how vets are very prideful. We don't want a handout. We want to work for everything we get. It's just how we're built. Just how we're molded and shaped is go out and work, go out and do. And then to have to, in many ways, stick your hand out. The what? I gotta what? No.
I never looked at it that way, Chandler. I think that's what got me through.
Right.
I never looked at it that way. I'm just being honest. I never thought that I was putting my hand out. All I ever said was, I'm using the system y'all put in place for me, not just me. I'm using the system the same way people are using and abusing the other system, the welfare, Section 8. Yeah. You know, I earned this shit, man. Not to toot that horn again, guys, but I did this. I did this. Y'all did that. Now we got to meet in the middle.
Right.
And I never got frustrated, never got annoyed, maybe because I knew the right people, I was in the right places. But then again, I educated myself. I couldn't depend on nobody because I was scared. I heard the stories about the VA. And the good thing about me, I don't mean to sound like this, but I don't have to use the VA because I'm retired. So I have my own health care. But they do make me go once a year and now every 2 weeks for the little psych jobs. And But I don't use the VA because I told the VA, because they used to always ride me. Why don't you come here? I'm a thorn in your side. Y'all got bigger problems than mine.
Right.
Most of these people coming to the VA don't have health benefits. I have all this shit.
Yep.
So I'm really helping y'all out. To be quite honest, I'm just messing up the wheel here. Y'all just forget about. I'll come here every June 24th. Say hi, make sure my meds are up to date, and we'll move on. I don't need you guys, not as far as that. Don't get me wrong. But it's hard, Chandler. It's hard to sell this to people because they're stuck. They're stuck on the system, don't work. But you got to give the system credit, Chandler. They're down to doing claims in 90 days.
Yeah, no.
That would have been unheard of.
Oh, listen, the first time I put in my claim, they literally looked at me like, oh, you just asked for free money. I was like, okay, just gonna go down. But no, it's so much better now than it was. But again, a lot of vets in our age group are still stuck in that place of anger with the VA. And it's hard to move past that place of anger, especially if there's other issues going on that you still haven't addressed.
I got 4 words for them, Chandler.
What is
Let that shit go.
Man, my cousin, the VA in Brooklyn sucks.
Yes, it does.
He served in the Middle East. So I think something happened. He had sand in his ear. So it's caused a problem for him, and they want to do surgery. He's like, no, I'm not letting you cut me open or do whatever y'all want to do. And so he has a little problem. They haven't figured it out. And he said the VA just sucks. But he has his own he works, so he has his own health insurance. But he said the VA doc sucked because for a while he wasn't working.
Let me stop you there a minute, Mark.
Yeah.
You could tell your cousin or anybody else. Do you know you have the option to say, I'm going to go to the VA hospital in Macon, Georgia?
Yep.
Right.
I'm going to go to the VA hospital in Decatur.
Yep.
Fayetteville. Okay. They can't stop you from that.
Nope.
That's where people get so confused. And you got to I always look at this. The 2 best areas that the VA work in is where I live, ironically, and Killeen, Texas. Why is that? Because those are the areas where they have the 2 biggest installations. So if you're in a place like Brooklyn, the Bronx, New Rochelle, they're not dealing with the volume. You would think with the volume we have, we'd be lagging. But no, it's just the opposite. With the volume we've had, it's made them better.
Yes.
That's a scary thought. Where somebody in Brooklyn or Queens or the Bronx, you would think they'd be out there, hand carrying you in the place. Because you ain't telling me they're dealing with 175, 350,000 vets. You can't tell me that. No. Geographically, that's not proper. But don't ever forget that. Tell your cousin, whoever else you run. Hey, man, matter of fact, one of the best VA hospitals. Again, my brother just passed away 2 weeks ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Yep, he was in. We was in carriages together. He was in the best hospital that the VA owns in Decatur, Georgia. They did everything they could to save him. Unfortunately, the cancer he had. But don't ever get limited. When I found that out, I told my wife, honey, if I ever get sick, make sure you roll my ass down to Georgia.
Or Minneapolis. Minneapolis VA is good. The White Horse Junction,
Texas.
Yeah, White Horse Junction in Vermont, great VA. Iron Mountain, Michigan, great VA. There are some really good VAs.
If you're willing to travel to them.
Exactly. But the craziest thing is they're usually in towns that aren't that big.
Oh, so let me ask y'all. So if you can go to any VA if you serve.
Yeah, you can go to any VA. Any VA.
I live,
US and
Germany. If I live in Brooklyn, I can go to the VA in California if I want
Absolutely.
to. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
Now, they're not going to give you travel pay.
No.
What's travel pay?
Check this out. Check this out, Mark. They pay me $3.33 to go to and from the VA because I live so close to them.
Right. Yeah.
They called me. They called me up and said, you need to come in here and claim your last 3 vouchers. I'm like, for what? $9? We don't care. It's your money. I'm like,
that's right.
Man, I didn't even spend $3 to get there.
Yeah.
Y'all are wasting money. I don't care. Come get your voucher.
They pay mileage based on the distance
they give you mileage
from the VA. So now, let's say they told your cousin to go to that VA, said you have to go to this VA. Then he could claim that because they told him to go there. But if he chooses to go there on his own, no, they won't give it to him. But he will get better services if he goes to a better VA. There are better VAs. Listen, the Brooklyn VA used to be good. Father Vito died. Bill Campbell, who was a great guy there, he left. Brooklyn VA is horrible now. There were good people there. They've all either died or retired. But any VA, if any vet can go to any VA. So the best thing to do is to do the research. That's how I wound up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Okay. Right. I did some research and I said, hey, that Iron Mountain VA, I hear nothing but good things. I drove up there from, where the hell was I? I don't even remember where I was when I drove up there. I drove up there. I got up there. I didn't have a place to stay and nothing else. 30 days after I got there, I had my apartment, I had my dog, and I had a job. Oh, and I had a doctor, I had my psych, and I had my therapist in 30 days.
You know what they did here? They hired a retired female. She worked for the Surgeon General's office. They hired her. She was in the Army. They hired her. We have 2 VA centers here in Fayetteville, 2 hospitals. They hired this woman, a female lieutenant colonel, just retired. You know what? She turned that shit upside down. She went back to like she was in the Army. And she used the old cliche, you only have a job here because these vets are coming here. If you can't handle that, you got to go. And guess what? She weeded out a lot of people. But guess what? The ends justified the means. Because the people that stood there, they knew they was under the microscope. That was the problem with the VA. They were never under a microscope.
No, because they couldn't get fired. Now they can. Now they can be fired. They couldn't be fired before.
Exactly. You know, you could say what you want about politics, but I know people that have worked in the VA under other administrations. And when Trump said, we ain't buying that, you can't fire a civil servant, we're firing him. My neighbor said he must have seen 40 people, Chandler, leave that building. And guess what their job was? To do the claims. They had a quota, Chandler, to do 30 claims a week. 30 claims, that's it.
That's it.
And they couldn't meet that quota.
No.
Now they up the ante where, okay, if you exceed 30, no more 30 and you're good. If you exceed 30, that's where those bonuses kick in. If you don't exceed 30, that's where the write-ups come in. And guess what? He said that most of these people didn't even get fired. They just got nervous and left. Just left. Just left the building.
Yeah.
He said he come to work one day and there 4 or 5 empty tables. He asked me, "Hey, Don, you want to work in Winston-Salem?" Hell no. Oh, get you a job tomorrow. GS9. I'm like, no. I'm driving to Winston-Salem. That's 2 hours from here. Get you an apartment. No. No. But that's what they're doing now. There's no more of this. We can't fire civil servants. No.
Right.
But that lady in Fayetteville let everybody know you have a job because of, if you can't handle that, there's the door.
Yeah.
You're going to get rolled up. And if you know how the government is, you get rolled up 3 times. See ya.
Yeah.
Ain't no, okay, we're going to give you a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. Gotta go. Yeah. And I've been to this building. To help people. I tell you what, I go in there and I be seeing new faces. I be like, oh shit. This lady done came in here with a broom. Yeah. But it worked.
Like a breath of fresh air, huh?
Exactly. It worked. You can argue a lot of things, guys, but you can't argue success.
No.
They all saying numbers don't lie. People can lie with numbers.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And they weren't buying that, man. I mean, I hate to get off the sports tip, but there's so many things.
That's
so
what
many
we
things,
Don,
Chandler.
that's what we do here. We go off the sports thing and just talk, just build.
Yeah.
Been doing this. Me and R been doing this for a while. So this is what we do. This is natural. It's organic.
Yeah, it's beautiful too, because you never know. You never know who might be listening. Exactly. They may be in that boat. I remember when I first met Chandler, he was having problems with the VA. Chandler, I'm gonna send you my phone number. I gave him my phone number over a fucking public line.
Yeah.
Chandler, give me a call. Give me a call, bro. We'll fix this. Man, I done drove to Georgia, South Carolina. Matter of fact, I just got back from South Carolina. I went to South Carolina this morning to meet a vet who was having problems with his disability claim. I drove to Myrtle Beach. I said, shit, I get to see the water, help somebody out, get me a lunch, and move on. Drive my ass back. I only live an hour and 45 minutes from Myrtle Beach. I mean, wasn't no big deal. I ain't got no damn job. I hate saying that, but I ain't got no job, guys.
No.
I'm unemployed, Chandler.
Dom is actually the reason, Mark, that I started doing that podcast that I was doing for a little while.
Okay. Nice.
Because with talking to him gave me so many ideas of things I wanted to talk about. Because it was so many things that I knew that, well, one, I didn't take advantage of. I wasn't taking advantage of. So I couldn't have been the only one not taking advantage of it. But the other thing was there was so much information out there. And the best information you're going to get as a vet is from another vet. It's the best information you're going to get.
Right. That's like my other cousin. He tore his ACL while serving. He's a reserve. I forget what branch. But he tore his ACL last year. While on duty. So he's all right so far. I haven't I have to ask him. I have to ask him about
Listen to me. He ain't all right.
Nope.
when his contract is up, he ain't all right.
Right.
Well,
that's 70% right there. I give you the number off the top of my head. 70%.
Yeah.
That's $1,483 a month.
That's right. And then
college benefits.
That's right. I don't even take into account the vocational rehab, which is an extra $600, or if he has kids and a wife, more than that.
One. Divorce.
Yeah, he got problems. Because you know what, Mark? He didn't have that torn ACL when he joined. So in 10 years down the road, where your cousin thinks he's, G Willie Square, and that thing starts acting up, not saying it's too late to file his claim. He can file that shit until he dies.
That's right.
Right.
But it's going to come back to haunt him. So just put the cart before the horse Get the paperwork.
I haven't talked to him about benefits or anything like that. So
please.
Or what he's been doing. But since I have you guys as resources, you know.
Yeah.
That's 4 years of college right there.
There you go.
He already did 4 years of college.
So
he could do 2 more and get a master's.
That's right. Or if he
that's
just if he want to go get a certificate as a locksmith, I don't care. Go use that vocational rehab damn money. Okay? That's $600 a month. Okay, go be a locksmith. I don't care what you do. Go be a woodworker. Make them buy you a new computer. Make them buy you news. Make them buy all of that stuff.
Right.
You know what, guys?
He's back to playing basketball with me because he's about 15 years younger than me. So that's like my little brother. He's in his mid-30s, so he's back to playing basketball with me.
He's young. He don't think he has a problem.
Right? Yeah.
Let me tell you something, guys.
He's still young and invincible.
Let me tell you something. I went after I got my bachelor's. I actually had 2 bachelors. I don't know how I skipped over getting a master's, but I had 2 bachelor's degrees. One I got when I was in the service. One I got when I was out.
Right.
So I went to vocational rehabilitation. I'm like, hey guys, it's time I tap into you. What do you mean? I need 2 years to get a master's degree. Oh, you know, we're really geared to aim you toward employment. I said, hold that thought. I went out in the hallway, took out my phone, took a picture of the poster they got on the wall, went back inside. What does this say? Educational rehabilitation. I said, look, I understand there may be a miscommunication of the English language right now, but y'all are telling me what y'all want.
Right.
That's not how the game is played. I'm telling you what I want. It's your job to give me what I want. I don't want to sound like a little baby, but this is your job. Don't bring the employment counselor in here. I don't need to talk to him because I don't want a job. I want a master's degree. You know what? That lady looked at me and said, I'll get back to you. I said, okay. I got in my car. I called Winston-Salem. I said, ma'am, I went to Fort Bragg. I was sounding like a little bit. I went to Fort Bragg and they tried to tell me what their plan is. She said, they'll be calling you tomorrow. She was from Georgia. She said, they gonna call you tomorrow, Dominique. I was like, all right, man. Lady calls me the next day and says, Dominic, did you really have to call? I stopped her in her tracks. I said, yep, I really did. I said, you know what? I really didn't have to call Winston-Salem. You made me call Winston-Salem. But now that we're on the same sheet of music, can I come in and sign the paperwork? Man, when I got there, they had a brand new Dell computer, printer, all of this stuff. I was like, hey, y'all can keep the printer. I didn't want to tell them I had 2 laptops already. I was like, I'll take the laptop, keep the printer. I done collected 2 of those already. Y'all keep that. And I'm gonna move on it, and I'll get back to y'all when I graduate. Oh yeah, make sure you do, because we can find you. No, you ain't gonna find me no job. I ain't working another day in my life. But why are you going to school? Because I can.
That's it.
Because I can.
That's it.
Now you know what? You know what? I looked at her office. I saw her husband's pictures in his uniform. I grabbed my computer. I said, I hope you don't treat your husband like you treated me when he gets out. She looked at me. I was like, my bad. My bad. I ain't trying to borrow nothing from you. I'm just trying to get what's mine.
You let the Bronx come out for a second.
Oh, my wife gets upset with me sometimes. Oh, you think maybe you could be a little more? No, I don't know how to do that, man. I'm sorry. You always sound like you're in the military. It works.
Yeah.
It works. That lady tried to bullshit me, guys. I'm serious. She brought let me go get the employment counselor. That won't be necessary.
Right.
That's when I ran
it's her benefits.
Yeah. And that's when she went and got him anyway. I got up out my chair, and that's when I said, I think there's a failure to communicate with the English language. I hear what y'all are saying, but obviously y'all don't hear what I'm saying.
Right.
So I'm gonna leave now. And she, I'll never forget her name, Mrs. Jones. She looked at me. Well, okay, Dominic, I walked out, went on my cell phone, called Winston-Salem, and ironically, I spoke to the same woman who lined me up with the counselor. And she said, I bet they tried to tell you what their plan was, huh, Dominique? I said, yes, ma'am. He said, they gonna get back with you in about 2 days. That was the next morning. This lady called me.
Yeah.
Well, can you come get your laptop and sign the papers? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
She didn't say 2 words to me when I got in that office because she already blurted out, did you really have to call him? Yes, I did. So when I went there, it was about signing papers, grabbing my laptop, leaving the printer, and I went on my merry way. And I ain't talked to her since.
There's no need to.
I will in about 16 days because I'll bring her my graduation certificate. But other than that, you can't. Again, Chandler,
I hate people who do that.
Yeah, but see, they do that, Mark, because they don't think you know.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
But the funny thing with this situation is I'm in the waiting room directly across from the poster. Not only did I read what I'm entitled to, y'all got a poster in the hallway. And I stopped her in her conversation and said, can you give me a minute? She said, sure. I went back out in the hallway, took out my phone, took a picture of their poster, came inside, showed her my phone, and I pointed to the part that said education. She said, well, it says employment. Education. That's all I'm here for. That's it. Don't try to sway me into what you think is best for me. You don't even know me. This is the first time you met me. No, sorry. But at the end of the day, Chandler, it goes back to what you know,
right?
Where you got it from. If you got the cold hard facts, they can't argue that. They could try to lead you to a different path, but no, get out of here. Like I said, Chandler, this dude called me on a whim today. I just saw him a couple of days ago outside his house. We're talking. He called me when I got back. Don, hope you don't mind. Oh shit. I looked in your file. Why are you looking in my file? I was curious. About what? See if you was getting extra $1,100 for unemployability. I was like, did you find something? He said, yeah, you don't get it. You ain't getting it. But let me tell you, go back to e-benefits, go through everything. There's going to be a block, hit unemployability, and send it back. I'm like, that easy, Mark. That easy, Dave. He said, yup, that easy, Don. But don't tell nobody I looked in your file. I'm like, what the fuck do I know that I'm going to tell? I don't know nobody that works in Winston-Salem. I don't care.
That's it.
You're telling me something, again, Chandler, you're telling me something somebody should have told me 6 years ago.
Exactly.
Exactly. And you know what? As much as a stickler I am, I didn't even know that. I didn't even read that.
See, I had heard about the unemployability piece, but I had been told about it in regards to Social Security.
No.
In that once you get labeled with the unemployability, because once you get over, like I'm 60%, once you get over the 60, 70 range, you're considered unemployable. So the Social Security is basically a cakewalk. And my Social Security, it took them 6 months. Boom, bang, boom. And they gave it to me. But see, now I got to go on e-benefits.
That's why I get mad. That's why I get mad at you, man. Because in 2019, nobody's getting 65% disability. If you ain't getting 100%, that's because you didn't do something.
No, I didn't. I haven't gone to do the what do you call it? What's the word? What's the word?
What word?
To increase it. What is the word?
No, you don't want an increase. You gotta get him another body part.
No, I have one. That's what I'm saying. I just haven't done it.
Okay. So you're not looking for an increase. You're starting a new claim.
Yes, I just haven't done it yet because I've been trying to get settled.
Hold up, man. Stop talking. Do you realize, Chandler, that from where you're at, I don't want to pull it up because it's on the top of my head. From where you're at to 100% is close to $2,100.
Yeah, I do.
I should jump through this damn computer and slap the dog shit out of you.
No, Dom, on the real, there's a reason I haven't done it yet. I need to get some things in order before I get more money.
Chandler, do you know I had body parts set on the side in case I get to 100%.
Okay. And you're not hearing me. You're not hearing me.
I never got to my knee,
right, but you're not hearing me.
None of that shit.
Listen, you're not hearing me.
That shit reserved.
There's some things in my life I need to get in order.
I know.
So before I get that particular check, if there's just some things I need to get in order. Otherwise, getting that money ain't gonna do me no good. It is what it is.
It'll help. It'll help.
Huh?
It'll help, Chandler. And the funny thing is,
it'll help only if I use it the right way.
Right. Well, that's their responsibility. But it's your responsibility, Chandler.
Yeah, it's my responsibility to get myself right so that I'm not blowing that money on nonsense.
Chandler, the way they're doing this now, it would take you all of 15 minutes.
Oh, I know.
Just 15 minutes of your life.
I know.
You hit
he knows, Dom.
But what I'm saying, Dom, is sometimes getting more money is a detriment.
Yeah,
Chandler, it took me 6 years, Chandler, It took me 6 years to realize I needed a couch.
Right. So I'm trying to get some things in order right now. So you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, that's just more money to screw up. I ain't got time for that right now.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that right now.
I'm gonna have to go because I gotta get up in the morning.
All right, guys.
And I gotta grab me something to eat. And I gotta call off so we don't have a 7-hour podcast. Because once we hang up, it's gonna keep going. So I gotta make sure he's still up.
All right.
All right, good talking to y'all, brothers. Thank y'all for the information y'all gave out. Y'all listen to In the Paint. We talk sports, we talk life. As you just seen, we had 2 Army men talking about the benefits that veterans can receive and get. So tune in hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, we'll definitely be on Friday. Peace out, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody in the chat room and everybody that talked live with us. Peace.